our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow. You know the tax I pay, Osofo. Sometimes when my this thing come and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow. You know the tax I pay, Osofo. Sometimes when my this thing come and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord we serve, because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow.
2012.
And so in 2012, there was some engagement, and Alhaji Yunus Hussaini was aware of this?
Alhaji Hussaini and Natural Resources in 2014.
So how many lands have you, government lands, have you reclaimed? You?
6,000 acres of land on record.
50,000 acres?
6,000 in Accra.
And what has been...
6,000 acres of land in Accra.
So how are you paid?
Nobody has paid me as we speak now. Nobody has paid me. Now, let me tell you why I did that work.
Wow.
Please, can I explain to you? There is no payment for whatsoever.
You've reclaimed government land, 50,000 acres for free. You have not been paid.
6,000, not 60. 6,000.
60,000 acres. And you have not been, your company has not been paid.
Not 60,000, please.
Okay.
Please, can I come clear on this? Not 60,000.
Oh, and I'm saying that you are saying your company has not been paid for reclaiming 60,000 acres of government land.
Chief, please. I was working at aviation.
Okay. So that's what I'm asking you. Have you been paid for
Please,
reclaiming?
I want to correct the record. It's not 60,000. I said 6,000.
Okay. Okay. Yes. And I'm asking if you have been paid for doing that.
I've not been paid.
You have not been given portions of the land you reclaimed?
The land I was given in 2014.
Okay.
Please, I was given land.
Reclaim government land. All government lands that have been encroached upon, to reclaim it. And yes, he has a special setup. You know, I think the idea was that anytime government is seen, government apparatus, police or military or whatever, going out there to reclaim land, you know the about it, the backlash, the political backlash for government. So what it did was that you set up somebody like this, and government will literally be hiding behind him, so he can reclaim government land. When I came to the ministry, and I saw on the contrary, I knew about all these issues about government land. I mean, land being reclaimed and people reacting. And I remember vividly 2008, Wager, for example, during the last years of President Before. I think that was more or less, it was a very serious thing. And I think the government at the time saw that, there was a serious backlash. So what they did was to set up this guy. I interrogated the setup of Jatu. Jatu works with the military. It's a squad. The military works with the national security and the staff of the police. You know, he has the media. He has people in the judiciary. You know, it's a whole setup.
So for 11 years.
Yes, and he's been doing that. We claim all that land for us. And out of that land, we gave you 50 acres. 50 out of 6,000. 50. So 6,000 acres reclaimed. He gets 15 acres as payment for all his expenses. So he has the right to go and sell that 50. If he's selling it, then there's noise all over the place. Hey, Jatu has, you know, he doesn't even sell it. He also gives it out for people to develop, so that he gets his share. And I can give you a long list of lands that Jatu has cleared for us. To the extent that Chairman, to the extent that even the military, even the Ghana Armed Forces, there are lands that have been encroached by people. They hire Jatu to reclaim for them. The Ghana police, in particular, Jatu reclaims their land for them.
Well, Chairman.
That is how it is.
Chairman,
so please.
Are they done?
The chief director revealed shockingly, that the ministry has resorted to engaging a land guard to retrieve and protect government lands. And mind you, these are lands that are held on behalf of the people of Ghana, vested in the president to protect it. And I'm sure that the framers of the Constitution are aware that the president is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and is seized with the capacity to ensure that these lands are protected for our, communal use. And that is why the lands are vested in the president. And the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is the ministry tasked with the responsibility of overseeing these lands. So for the ministry to tell us the lack of capacity of the state to protect these lands that are, put in trust, but to resort to, the services of people whose activities have been outlawed for the protection of these land came to us as a surprise. We have therefore demanded from the ministry the terms and conditions of that unholy relationship between the ministry and this land guard or his institution. Because clearly, we cannot pass laws that we do not intend to keep. And again, when we pass laws to sanitize any area or development in our country, we do not expect the state to be the first to break those laws. The other shocking part of this revelation was that, according to the chief director, it is not only the ministry that contracts the services of this land guard, but also the Ghana Armed Forces and the police depend on the services of this land guard.
A politician and you want to do things that do inure to the benefit of the state, they leak to advance a cause. So as for democracy and leak tapes, they are bedfellows, and we will need more leak tapes. Otherwise, you see, this thing, if somebody had said he was in a meeting and there was no leak tape and he had come out to say this, people would have said, where is the evidence? Then people would have bastardized him. So please, more leaked tapes. More leaked tapes. We need that. Of course, that's those that will help to advance our democracy. Yeah, because the politicians are really, really, really bad, right? They are bad. Honorable, sorry you guys are here, but the truth of the matter is that for as long as millions of Ghanaians are hungry, can't buy food, can't pay rent and the rest, we'll put it on your head that you guys are bad folks. You've not led this country well, and so we need leaked tapes to be able to reveal some of the machinations that this police officer is talking about, etc. Yes, because we can't allow it. We can't. We will need more of the leaked tapes to be able to help strengthen our democracy. Right, the next point I'm...
Well, this morning, they took the lead that they were going to work. My special personal aide.
What's his name?
SK.
SK.
Yes.
Okay.
And then my reception, also called Equia.
Okay.
They left that they were going to work. And I came to the office. I can't see my special aide. And then I can't see my reception. Then I started calling because I was getting frightened that maybe accidents. So I started calling to see their whereabouts. Now I learned, I just been informed. They are both at BNI office at Kalkuri Junction.
A BNI office at Kalkuri Junction?
Yes, right now.
What are they doing in there?
That they were picked in there when they were about to come to work, and they were picked by the gate.
By who?
By the BNI people.
BNI picked them?
Yes, and then I learned there was they came with a white car, and police people were well armed and pushed them in and took them away. So now I don't know their whereabouts, but I'm getting information that they are in BNI, Kalkuri Junction. So I'm appealing to you, the journalists, and I'm getting some lawyers also to join there and find out what is going on. Why?
But what's your suspicion? Why has the BNI arrested them?
I wouldn't know because the whole of this week, I didn't respond to anybody, and I haven't talked to anybody. I want to know what is going on. Please, I don't want trouble.
You don't want trouble?
I don't want trouble.
Do you think that an arrest is in connection with a tape?
Well, this is what I'm telling you. Somebody's telling people, some people are saying that it has connection with the tape.
But the tape, is it your voice on the tape or not?
I will not comment that now unless this case is off.
So what do you want the BNI to do? I mean, you think they've not done anything reason they've arrested them?
Well, but if they are committing no offense, can they come and tell me they are under my umbrella? They are all not from here.
Are you disappointed?
Why won't I be disappointed? What? People to go to work and now I hear they are in BNI. For what reason?
So what will be your appeal to government and then the BNI officials?
Well, I don't. Before I can make any appeal, they must tell me what they arrest them for. Their reason for arresting them, I don't know.
So they arrested them this very Thursday morning?
This morning.
Wow. And you want them to be released?
Yeah, why? They are human beings. They have their right. What if they didn't commit any offense? What? Any comment offense to the state or criminal offense? What? Should they arrest them for what? What reason?
Were they the ones who recorded the audio?
I don't think so, and I don't know. But they cannot do. We don't have any recording here. Nobody, my phone can record. Why should I go and get the tape to record? My phones, all these are iPhones. Even though I don't know how to hold it, but they can record. They can. I believe they are record. They can do all in way.
Were you the one who recorded the conversation?
No. Why should I do that?
The allegations are that you recorded the conversation.
The people don't have sense.
They don't have sense?
If they have sense,
they say you recorded the conversation.
And I'm saying that if they have sense, even some of my telephone calls were in the tape. You think that I'm recording, I'll let my personal matter come inside the tape? I'm asking you.
So you wanted the one who recorded the tape?
I don't know anything about any recording. If I know I don't want to talk about it now.
You don't want to talk about it now?
No. I'll have a proper time to come out because all this rubbish they are talking, I don't want to talk
because they say they have to investigate you.
This
is the issues of national security. You and some other police officers were plotting against the IGP. So people are saying that obviously they have to pick you up.
Plot against IGP. I'm not the one who appointed IGP. I'm not the government to appoint IGP. And I can talk about the removal of IGP. Those who were talking about it about the removal or they don't want IGP. Let's take them into tax, not me.
Not you, but you were part of the conversation.
What did I say?
You were part of the conversation.
What did I say? Tell me. What did I say? Did I say that they are removing IGP, or they are maintaining IGP, or they are sacking IGP, or IGP should go on leave? Am I the one? I'm not the one.
But you were part of the alleged conspiracy, sir.
I didn't conspire anything. I don't.
You granted them permission in your office?
They can't talk to me till I don't talk. They can't greet me and complain that you are, because I'm a party member. I'm a senior member of the party. They think that this and this going on, this can happen. Did that mean that I'm the one who called them?
But you should have asked them to leave, because what they were saying was a big issue against the IGP, the Inspector General of Police for the Ghana Police Service.
And that's why somebody had recorded, and they tape is already IGP in here by now.
They say you're IGP's boy. You recorded the tape and gave it to IGP.
And to be, I can be his boy.
You think they've not done anything reason they've arrested them?
Well, but if they are committing no offense, can they come and tell me they are under my umbrella? They are all not from here.
Are you disappointed?
Why would I be disappointed? What? I've been put to go to work, and now I hear they are in there night. For what reason?
So what will be your appeal to government and then the BNI officials?
Well, I don't. Before I can make any appeal, they must tell me what they arrest them for. Their reason for arresting them, I don't know.
So they arrested them this very Thursday morning?
This morning.
Wow. And you want them to be released?
Yeah, why? They are human beings. They have their right. What if they didn't commit any offense? What? Any offense to the state or criminal offense? What? Should they arrest them for what? What reason?
Were they the ones who recorded the audio?
I don't think so, and I don't know. But they cannot do. We don't have any recording here. Nobody, my phone can record. Why should I go and get the tape to record? My phone.
So he was.
A witness must testify in truth. Don't lie, even under oath. So why you say something that is factually wrong, it's a lie. Because as someone and when the president came to disprove it, you didn't come back to to counter him on any other figure. Which means you're coming in a what not to China? Their own pink sheets and one was on bombs and man said one more pink sheets, one would be the pink sheet court. It was one of the worst documents that you can ever find. At some point, they have to withdraw about 700 or more pink sheets from the court because they are not going to rely on it again. Pink sheets won't come to point and announce me a KPMG back. Trial system. I'm on board to say the number of pieces I work and which of them are even valid for the court to even rely on. They were citing 11,000 through Baumia. Yet when KPMG came to do their auditing, they cited a little above 8,000 and they're valid. We are good witness and I was sacrificing political career. When is sacrifice now here? The same person again in the witness box was say MPP. No, I said there were 22 unknown police stations in this country. Now, some police stations were unknown to the MPP and everything. So far that the electoral system was concerned. I'm a man pink sheet back. Me, I'm saying that you got a man pink sheet back. Said, "This pink sheet is not there." And I said, "But a dear was so terrible. A agency there was so. Yeah, Papa now but terrible agency there. What pink sheet in the so? Or boy, and you said, "A dinner boy, a big woman where your MPP me was an was signing here was an." Then to which me the agent to control police woman for the vote to break. And was I never could grab a track or to catch the court. He said it was unknown to you. Do you understand the word unknown? Do you understand the word unknown? And when such a bad witness is saying, so not sacrificing in the political career, you're not even ashamed to say this.
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government. I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed.
yɛyɛ mmɔbɔ wɔ Ghana yɛte sika so ɔmɛnya ohia man na nam amamu a ɛnkɔ yie nti ɛkɔm de yɛ
Everybody there, we are better so like I said, money is easy. And then we say we pack it be a Jumano no tears here. And now so come to cry a day. That's also no. And I'm say the coupons I said I'm more quite so for you 13 million Ghana, see you so better and you can say so now to Paul man.
They told all their communicators, anytime you mention Mahama or NDC, say incompetent. I say here Baumia and Co say incompetent Mahama administration, incompetent. You've never held any responsibility anywhere near presidency before. You don't know what it is like to be president. Choboy, I will take that word from Kufuor or from Rawlings because they've been there before. All of you guys have never ever come near the presidency. You know what it is to be a president? And you stand and say, incompetent Mahama administration. Incompetent Mahama administration. Choboy, what do you know about competence? All of them in the offices they occupy, they should show us what competence they displayed.
The nation. You know, I've always said when somebody says that they have done something and they have to spend 1 hour explaining what they have done, then they have done nothing. When you have done something, you shut up. The things that you have done speak for themselves.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirty, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning, welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Tuesday, the 25th day of July, 2023. By His grace, we're live and we're here. We're here at another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to the Most High God for the very privilege of being alive, and of course the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into a panel for the morning's conversation shortly, but let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Auditor General recovers unearned salaries. 11.52 million Ghana cedis so far retrieved as disallowances. OSP grills Cecilia Dapaah. Media budget review. Collaborate for quick economic rebound of Reata to private sector. NC engages stakeholders on digital audio broadcasting. Ghanaian Times. New railway master blueprint. No plan for SkyTrain. CEO of GRDA. OSP quizzes Cecilia Dapaah over stolen cash jewelry from residents. 35 Abutia SHS students suffer food poisoning. Togo attempts to lay claim to Volta Lake. Daily Guide. Cecilia Dapaah arrested over $1 million cash scandal. Our lead NPP to make history, Baumia. NPP flag bearers receive delegates album Wednesday. Economy expected to show positive stabilization signs. NDC marks Atta Mills' passing. The New Crusading Guide. Government bags 10 million cedis as Auditor General transfers recovered disallowed expenditure into consolidated fund. Past Public Officers Bill. Occupy Ghana charges government. Show of power at Ajurengano as top police officer attacks property owner. Efia MP declares support for Baumia. I'm the best choice for Ghana's future. Apreku. The Insight. Ex-minister arrested and grilled by OSP over corruption tag, but she denies claim. I'm Dombo, but support Alan, NPP MP. Latte balls as chiefs, elders of Kubiasi reject Ahinasi chiefs' non-recognition of Kubiasi Krom. I'll improve health needs of members of National Association of Garages, says aspiring Ashanti Regional G&AG chairman. Reinstate 3 dismiss Anna Osogli staff. South Africa's largest workers' union, NUMSA demands in solidarity with TUC Ghana's Mine Workers Union. The Daily Statesman. Media budget to sustain stabilization. Massive support for Baumia and Western region. Banking sector shows considerable growth. NPA steps up patrol at border towns to curb smuggling. The Finder. Banks record 4.3 billion cedis profit in first half of 2023, while average lending rates fall to 31.5%. NPP to disqualify aspirants who attack others. OSP investigates Cecilia Dapaah over corruption. Dr. Awal urges black diaspora to focus on Africa's economic emancipation. Takrady MP says Dr. Baumia will not be exchanged for anyone else. Akosua Menu calls for an end to factions in Adentan NPP. Economy Times. Public debt stands at 569.3 billion cedis. Government cautioned against relying on treasury bills for long-term development financing. Government records 1.8% deficit for first 5 months of 2023. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chese na me ankasa me period na se problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra me enu foforo kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nuru a ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you of Acrobato. Hello hey ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point wa dance am me call you no me Jones sema na enkoyie e paso na maye mre nyina na magina sabema na me be fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Do you need a place with a stunning view and serene environment just beneath the Green Mountains with a commercial center and recreational area with an amazing park? Then look no further.
Hello sir.
Hi.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens, the most affordable yet luxurious gated community located in Damfa, Accra. We have 2 and 3 bedroom houses with spacious park. Let me show you. All of our rooms come with beautiful porcelain tiles, durable fitted kitchen cabinets,
constant water supply,
electricity and water 24/7.
I'm buying this house.
Stop processing my papers.
Move it. If you're living in Ghana and want an affordable and luxurious house to buy, look no further than Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. Oh! And to those from the diaspora, aren't you tired of living in places that doesn't belong to you? You can also own your house and be your own landlord from Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. I have my own, Bosu Landlord.
Contact us now. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the healer.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and couple the makers in
The pneumatological aberration of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasa Mainzongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dine. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Bwachi Hospital Junction. Sakradi. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program
from 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply. The same gato muna mesesi.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning are two members of Parliament. So I have the Member of Parliament for the Sadai constituency, who is also a legal practitioner, the Honorable Roxanne Nelson, the former. Good morning.
Morning, Doc. How are you?
Good.
Good morning to my brother.
Morning. Also with me on the show this morning is Deputy Minister of Education, who is also a member of Parliament for the Asin South constituency, as the Honorable Reverend John Ntim Fojo. Good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
How are you doing?
Yeah. It's a show of the South Boys. South Asin South.
Oh yeah, South Alliance, South Alliance. Yeah, by God's grace, we're doing well. We are saddened by the going back to the maker of Dr. Seri Ayute. She's been a fantastic lady, very strong lady, strong woman, who has played a very significant role in our political system and our governance system, even before the Fourth Republic, and then at the beginning of the Fourth Republic, she played a very key role in shaping our Fourth Republic. And so we joined the NDC fraternity to pay tribute to her and to one of her, and to convey our condolences to the family, the NDC.
Right.
And it's in order. When you know that before the onset of the Fourth Republic, she was very, very instrumental in the work of the 31st December movement. And in South Dine, I recall when they used to come around, and my mother and some others were the key people on the ground then. And so she had a very fun relationship with South Dine. Even as Minister of Fisheries, I recall the interventions she made in the lives of our women in Germany, especially the fishmongers, trying to improve how they did their business, giving arbor motors, ensuring that premise fuel got to our people. And our people love her. And the NDC has lost the stalwart. And also the gun state. If you speak of politicians of indigenous Ghana regions, she ranks amongst the topmost. And sudden death, because when as enough together, I met her during my first weeks. I think during the second week I didn't see her, but our paths didn't cross. But we met, and as usual, we crack our jokes, and she said that we, the younger ones, should go into the hinterlands and go and face the you know, the roads were bad at the time when I seen up, so we should go to the hinterland, and the elderly will be in town.
She even looked very young.
Yeah, you know, she has a girlish face, you know, she's baby face, as we say it. But she's no chicken. She's.
All right. So a lot has been said about.
I hear the book of condolences will be open today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you watch this show very often.
Yeah. A lot has been said about Madame Shiraite, and a lot starts from the exploits of 31st December Women's Movement and throughout the political career and all that. Okay. And I mean, undoubtedly, there's a lot to say about her in that regard.
When the time comes.
Interestingly, for me, it is something that she did in the last 5 years of her life that I find extremely remarkable, that I think should encourage a lot of people. So 4 years ago, at her age, having done all she's done in her life, having achieved all the things she's achieved in her life, she decided to study for a doctorate degree.
Wow.
And she enrolled and she studied for the doctorate.
Got awarded.
And she finished and she got awarded the doctorate degree. He earned it
by dint of hard work.
A little over a year ago.
Yeah.
So, and I found that extremely remarkable. I'm sure that she perhaps has, she's been given quite a number of honorary doctorates. Yeah. She's been offered quite a number of them. But she decided that she was going to study for it. And there were a few occasions that I had to go do some academic stuff. And I saw her actually sitting at lectures, yes, and studying for it. And she made sure, yes, and she made sure that she went through, she finished, she graduated.
The coursework, research work.
Yes, and she graduated. And this she did in the last 4 years. Yes.
That's what we call record time. You know, PhD, record time is 4 years. So.
No, she actually did it in 3 years.
In 3 years, and did that.
So she graduated about a year or so ago.
That speaks a lot to the determination,
and
tenacity.
So we're all saddened by her sudden death, and we wish that the appropriate things will be done so that we give her a befitting burial.
So that's a graduation photograph. You see that when it comes on the screen shortly. But Honorable, I'm sure that it's something that should be a given. That you've seen that viral video. With respect to, we're told it's at the Saddle College.
Very much so.
Okay, so thanks for the confirmation. I've subsequently seen a statement purported to have been issued by the headmaster of the school or something, and then I've also seen something by the GES, and there is a lot of outrage out there about what has actually happened, and it's quite sad. And please do not show the video. I don't.
That's quite disturbing.
Please don't show it. You know, and I just don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's just wrong with some of us. I mean, How can you get to this level of anger and do what you're doing and have everybody else look on like that? Yeah. My disappointment was the fact that
the onlookers.
Yes, everybody else was just looking on.
Just taking videos.
Yes, just looking on and taking videos. I didn't see any attempt
to separate them.
Yes,
yeah,
to stop him or separate them or do anything about it.
Yeah.
Is that a level of humanity? Is that how low we've sunk even among kids?
Dr. Rani, good morning once again, and a good morning to my good friend, respected colleague, Honorable Nafiamepo Echi Roxon. I have rearranged your name.
Yes.
And of course, a good morning to our cherished viewers, those doing the viewing from our Saint Enclave, in particular, Saint South. It is saddened to wake up to this viral news and viral video of an assault, very, very, barbaric assault involving 2 students of Adisador College. One that was not expected to be done, a matter that we thought had been rooted out from every 4 walls of every school in this country, having to resurface in such a manner. You know, gone are the days when people will brag about their homo nights and homo cultures, but those days are far obsolete and far gone. And these are not things that should be condoned. These are not things that should be glorified in any way. So it is very regretful to see that happen. My reports that initially I have received indicates that the incident that went in a viral video occurred on the 30th of June this year.
Okay.
And interestingly, both parties attempted to conceal it. The victim himself and the gentleman who assaulted him attempted to conceal it.
Why? Especially from the victim's perspective.
Oh yes,
scared?
For whatever factors we are investigating to establish.
Okay.
And then further went to the headmaster, the housemaster, to indicate to them that they were playing, and then accidentally he injured himself. So the matter is being taken very seriously right from the time that it came to attention from yesterday till last night. A lot of actions have been taken. From the Regional Director of Education, the Ghana Education Service, the Director General himself, Dr. Nkansa, and for us at Ministry of Education under the leadership of Dr. Yawase Duchum. So a number of actions have already been taken. Some suspensions have gone on. The victim, the person who assaulted the victim, is currently serving a suspension. The people who were onlooking and failed to report are also, including the gentleman who took the video, are also facing various forms of sanctions, including the housemaster to the house in question has been relieved of his post as housemaster, because we think that is most negligent of a housemaster under your watch for that to happen, because it is a culture that should have been rooted out and a lot of deterrent measures put in place, even to be on a preventive, to prevent students from getting into such outreach. Interestingly, they are both final year students. One would have thought that it is a senior bullying a junior, but these are 2 colleagues who unfortunately, for whatever circumstances around some SIM card disagreements, but we are taking it very seriously. A lot of sanctions will be applied. We have also involved Ghana Police Service, the IGP's assistant, eminently having sent his officers who have since invited or placed some of the suspects under arrest, taking their statement, released them through the juvenile method or procedures. And so a lot of investigation is currently going, and we have the security services also cooperating. I have summoned the headmaster together with the Regional Director of Education to my office 2 p.m. this afternoon.
Okay.
Because this is not a matter that will be left at just exchange of reports here and there. This is a matter that is receiving the highest of attention from us, because it's going to occasion major reforms. It's going to occasion a serious paradigm shift when it comes to bullying. Every measure we had already put in place, if it has not rooted it out, and we have this surfacing, it calls for a lot of further actions and further measures to be put in place. So we have invited them. Prior to that, the Director General of Ghana Education Service, Dr. Nkansa, had taken a lot of pragmatic steps in apprising himself of the situation and giving directives that I think are very much sound. And so in addition to that, when they arrived this afternoon, 2 p.m. to my office, we'll further interrogate the matter, and further actions appropriate that have to be put in place will be put in place. We want to assure the general public that if your child is in a boarding school in Ghana, you must feel safe as a parent at home, knowing that we have put in place the right environment, the positive environment, the conducive environment that supports the learning of your child, that supports your child to thrive, not under fear, not under bullying, not under any kind of assault or harassment whatsoever. And that is the assurance we are giving, and we are going to take every measure to ensure that what has happened will unravel anything that needs to be unraveled, and that adequate measures will be put in place. Beyond the sanctions, adequate measures will be put in place on the preventive to ensure that we can entrench a culture of respect, a culture of decency, a culture that that sees people as fellow students and as brothers, as friends, people that you can look into the future with. And these are schools that people graduate and form a strong fraternity. It is not one that should be a place for such incidents. Whilst I will be very cautious not to generalize this occurrence to even the entire Adisadel fraternity, I would want to say that we are also not leaving any stone unturned. If there may be any such culture that has been inherent in that particular house or any other house or any other school, we want to go to the bottom of it and not just deal with it as a viral video that has come to be dealt in isolation, sanctions applied, and then becomes one of the usual cases. So it comes up and then there's hue and cry and sanctions are applied, and that ends. This is not going to be. This is one that is going to occasion a lot of change, and going to instill discipline, and going to ensure that we don't see any form of such assaults taking place in any school, and that these kind of assaults, harassment, and bullying will not find space in any of the schools under our watch. And so we would also want to urge that our students, it must not be a culture to be celebrated at all. There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing humorous, there's nothing hilarious about the whole situation. For people to be onlooking, seemingly laughing, giggling, taking video, there's nothing fun about this. And there must be nothing fun about that. And there must be nothing that should be hilarious about it, to be condoned by the victim himself. We are very much minded about the health of the victim at the moment. We at the moment want the victim to receive treatment, because this is a potential head injury. And so we want the medical practitioners to ensure that they actually offer him the kind of treatment and run all the necessary tests for us to see the extent of damage that he may have sustained, and the appropriate treatment given to him. And then the next steps. We are also very cautious that right from next week, these finalists will be setting their WASI. And so in all that we are doing, in the sanctions and the punitive measures, we are also minded that we don't deny them the opportunity to have the conducive environment and sound mind.
He's made a terrible mistake, but his future is important.
Absolutely. Yeah. For all those that are involved, the victim, the suspects, and all the corporates, and all the lawyers who say conspiracy to commit crime, all of them, we want to ensure that they are given the adequate space, psychological, mind, the kind of support that they can get even as they go through the investigations and cooperating with the security services. We want to also ensure that they are adequately prepared to start their final exam next week. So this is what we are going to do. But it's not going to end here. But there will be more to be told after my meeting with the headmasters. I've summoned him. He will be accompanied by the regional director. I've summoned him too. And then they will be meeting me with the Director General of GES. And then further to that, further actions that will be occasioned would ensure that the general public will be well informed in that transparency, because this is something that must be a major case study, a major case study to signal across nearly 900 SHS and TVET institutions across the country, boarding house, day schools, that there must not be space created for any such culture. It is obsolete, it's barbaric, it is long frowned upon, and we must be forward-looking, we must be respecting one another, and we must rather be tilting towards behaviors that will enhance the spirit of friendship. You know, I have had occasion to visit many schools, and Dr. Randy, I must tell you, the kind of fraternity and the spirit of friendship that bonds them, sometimes even after 50 years of completing the school, it's remarkable. Recently, at your invitation, at your instance, when I attended the memorial, the Founders Memorial Annual Lectures organized by BLEO, the BLEO Bees, all the very, very prominent BLEO Bees were there. It was chaired by the Right Honorable former Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Do Ajaho himself, who is a BLEO Bee. And interestingly, the current global chairman of BLEO Bee also happens to be his mate back in school. And then they were talking about one was good in maths, the other was good in economics, and they were, you know, relation and reliving the days, you know, back in Accra Academy. And so that spirit of friendship that binds the school, the culture, you even feel it more when you graduate. The same thing for Presec. I recently joined them at the anniversary, bonfire anniversary, at the instance of Dr. Fori Sapon, the global president, and it was incredible. Thousands of members from their fraternity and affiliates were there in their numbers. And just like BLEO Bee, they also have some females alumni. Yeah. It's so interesting how that happened.
Yeah, sixth form.
Yeah, sixth form. And so they all join in. And the Saddle is one of such schools with Santa Clausian culture and spirit and many other schools. I don't know the school that my good friend went, but maybe it's like mine. So, and even for those schools, we even brag the more. St. Martin's Secondary School is a school that we are very proud. We even make more noise than the BLEO Bees and the Saddles and the Category A schools. But wherever that you find yourself, you must know that you are there for the period for 3 years. You must build friendship. You must build, you know, networking. You must be able to have, entrench yourself a good reputation, and then take good care of yourself and watch out on others. So in the future, the same network pretty much you'll be falling on. Right. But more importantly, that you pay attention to your studies and not get into excesses that will lead into such unfortunate incidents we've seen. So we are looking into the matter seriously, with all the seriousness it deserves, and we'll keep the public apprised.
Okay. Now, Rexon, yes. There are two key things that I hear people speak about, you know, and one has to do with, Mrs. Helga Bodi sums it up. She says that the worry about the fact that a victim perhaps didn't feel safe enough to report this aggravated assault, and that perhaps is speaking to a certain subculture that must be interrogated. Yeah. Why will anybody who's a victim of such aggravated assault not feel comfortable? And as Minister said, it appears that the reluctance to report was even on both sides, and more worrying on the side of the victim. Now, Jude Agbemava also raises an interesting point, which is something that people have been speaking about, but I think we take it lightly. And even in my intro, I made mention of it. Those who took the video and yet did not see any reason to get involved and get a thing stopped, but we're interested in actually capturing it.
What if the person had died?
And he says that, Jude says that we need to critically look at bystander effect, as in social psychology. And this is regarding diffusion of responsibility, as people look on when someone is in danger. And you would find that with the advent of smartphones, people are interested in capturing the incident rather than lending a hand or trying to stop it. And he says that is a bystander effect in social psychology, and it's something that we ought to look at. So the victim not being confident enough to report such an incident, and also this bystander effect that we have accepted to be a modern way of life.
Yes, good morning once more to you, to my brother, Reverend Tim Fojo, and of course to my constituency, Piki Palik Pevetongo. Randy, this matter, I was going to go ballistic this morning, but I'm privileged to have received some information, so it's calmed me down. I'm comforted to hear that my friend Attorney General is taking very serious view of the matter and has initiated some steps. In fact, he has instructed that the police conduct very quick investigations with the matter and prepare some preliminary docket by Friday for prosecution.
Okay, so you are a lawyer?
Yes.
And I can appreciate the criminal prosecution angle and the fact that you're happy about that.
But I'll touch on the other matters.
Yes,
I'll touch on the other matters. So this matter has moved away from the realm of administrative disciplinary measures to one of pure criminal conduct.
Is that how we ought to look at it? I'm not discounting that. Yes.
That is not how we have to look at it. But when the conduct is criminal, whether engaging by a juvenile or an adult, it's a crime. So the laws will have to be applied.
Right.
The administrative steps that the ministry, GES, want to take does not detract from the state proceeding against any person who has committed a crime. And I know you know that. So to that extent, I want the system to work. But let me say that, look, Randy, corporal punishment, it's a feature of our boarding system. Indeed, UNICEF conducted a research, and the report came out sometime July 2018, just recently, and referenced a 2010 report, again by UNICEF. It says that 7 out of 10 children in sub-Saharan Africa, of school-going children, they suffer some form of corporal punishment, either in schools, in homes, in detention centers, and all. So it's a matter that we have to look at holistically. But I'm saying, even when I was in school in the mid-90s, I was in the boarding house, we went through some form of corporal punishment, but not to this barbaric level. Yes, that I must admit. As a junior, and I was a very stubborn junior, I suffered some. Sometimes gravel were fetched for you to kneel on them. Sometimes they pour Gary on the floor for you to kneel on them, because a senior would have done something and you would have challenged the person and cited some grounds. I've always loved arguments and asking people the authority upon which they acted. And it did when I also got to a senior year and I became the dining hall prefect.
Which school?
Mali School.
Oh, Mali is a great school.
Yes. And I became the medicine, we call it medicine prefect. I got to know the extent of some of these things in the boarding house, to the extent that sometimes food can be taken away from a junior by a senior. It's also a form of corporal punishment.
Your own chop box.
Your own chop box can be ransacked. Sometimes even in your absence, but often in your presence, when you go to the chop box room, or what we call box room. So there are various facets of these practices in our body. But what has shocked the conscience of the country is how barbaric this was. And again, let me say that in law, there's a very famous judicial decision where the court had to go and fall on a poem by a very great poet, who said, "They also serve who stand by and look." So he borrowed the line from that poem and fixed a liability onto somebody, a party, in a very serious case in tort. So negligent conduct can always be fixed onto people who stand by onlookers, who will do nothing for harm to be caused to another. So this principle of onlookers that people are saying we should look at has already been dealt with by the courts ages and ages ago. That when a crime is being committed or harm is being occasioned another, and you stand by and do nothing, and the harm is occasioned, when they are fixing liability, liability will be affixed onto you.
Very much so.
So I agree that those onlookers who did nothing and actually took further steps to get one of them who had the phone to video the dastardly act ought to equally be punished. For that is the law. For that is the law. So I just want to, I'm very happy about the AG step on them. I just want to urge him that he can even detail, in addition to the police, he can get the regional office, that's the AG's office in Cape Coast, to quickly go into the matter, prepare a temporary docket for him so he can take action. This is what people want to see. The speed, the alacrity, and the effectiveness, it will assuage the concerns and fears of everyone. And let parents will be assured of that concrete steps are being taken to bring about normalcy to the school and other schools that may be going through this.
Doc, I very much agree with my good brother, and I would just want to also touch on the bystander syndrome that seems to have crept into society and is creeping into various fibers of society. It's very, very dangerous. In some cases, you even find a person videoing an instance and then it ends up very disastrous. Somebody loses their lives and they still put it out there. Meanwhile, they had the chance to do something to avert the situation or to save the person. So in this case, if this guy had just lost his eye or died in the process, what joy would you have had?
He could have even suffered the fracture of the cheek.
I mean, what joy would, and even as we that's what we want to even get to the bottom of the extent of injury medically sustained beyond the face, the first aid that may have been obtained. But I must also, again, appreciate the leadership shown by the Minister for Education, and then the cooperation we are getting from the Ghana Education Service Director General, and then the IGP and the Attorney General, Honorable Godfred Dame. As soon as the matter came to his attention, immediately had to activate those instructions. And that, to us, as Ministry of Education, we are encouraged to know that we have that inter-institutional, interministerial support that will ensure that one would have thought it was Ministry of Education's matter, let them deal with it. But this particular matter is one that we can say that the Attorney General, the IGP, and all state institutions who have some relevant role to play to support our efforts to instill the culture of discipline in our schools, to remind people that there are repercussions and consequences in the law and society beyond the sanctions and the code of discipline code we have in our schools, to be minded and to stay disciplined. We are very grateful, and we'll continue that cooperation.
So Dr. Manibu Amao is a former communications minister. It says that I should remind you that they bequeath e-governance, and so you don't need to let the headmaster drive all the way to Accra. You should have the meeting online.
We should consider Zoom.
That's a good one. You should have a meeting online.
I agree.
No, it's very, very sound. It's a very good suggestion.
It's a good perspective.
But see, the psyche of hearing that
you want to reprimand
when other headmasters hear it, they are not ready to come to Accra now to drive 4 hours, 5 hours. So that also, but we'll consider the subsequent
clear this
meeting.
for me, since you're here. I like to do this with ministers and deputy ministers who are here. There's a lot of talk about teacher training allowance that is being reduced. What are the issues?
This hasn't been reduced.
Okay, because so let me read this to you.
There's
then
a
you can
statement.
clarify this. Okay, so see a statement, Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, and this is for immediate release, July 24. So that will be yesterday. Okay, so that's on our screen. Update on teacher training allowance. This is on behalf of the National Executive Council of the Association. We write to provide you with a crucial update regarding the disbursement of teacher training allowance. We are pleased to inform you that the allowance payment has been confirmed and will be disbursed this week. As per the arrangement, the allowance for 3 months will be paid to eligible teacher trainees. 2. However, we have been informed that the allowance component of trainees have been reduced to 149 cedis based on the request from PRINCOF to the Ministry of Education last academic year to supplement the feeding of trainees effective this academic year. We would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation to all of you for your patience, commitment, and support throughout the fight for the teacher training allowance. We remain resolute in our efforts to secure best possible outcomes for your welfare. So the point 2 suggests that there's a reduction to 149. I don't know what the figure was, but this is what the association, the Teacher Trainee Association, is communicating to its members.
Now, to my understanding, we have not reduced the teacher training allowance that we have budgeted and been paying. It has not been reduced. No decision has been taken to have it reduced. And so the original amount we've been disbursing is what has been approved and is expected to be disbursed. So if in the course of disbursement, the recipients have cause to complain of a reduction, I think it's a matter that they can come for us.
Have you seen this?
No, it's just coming to my attention for the first time.
Okay.
So it's a matter that they can easily, maybe they are engaging the director tertiary on it.
What's PRINCOF?
PRINCOF is the Principals of Colleges of Education.
Okay.
They have an umbrella association.
Okay. It's like vice chancellors.
Yeah, vice chancellors.
You know, it's a tough for everybody's.
Or CHAS, like Conference of Heads of Assistants.
Yes.
So they come together so they can have that certain policies and administrative procedures streamlined. So I'll be happy.
Teacher trainees have always been fed. Even when the allowance was withdrawn, they were still
yes, and they are still being fed.
They are still being fed.
Yes, and they are still being paid the allowance.
So why? But what they are saying is that they are being asked to pay the feeding fee out of the allowance. So maybe
that
you
to
need
supplement
to look at
the feeding fee.
You need
there's
to
a
look
reduction.
At that.
So that they will now get 149.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. That is not consistent.
On top of your head, do you have the figure?
No, I don't. It's something I need to check.
Because they mentioned 200 Ghana.
Yeah, but their claim is something I would be happy to engage them.
They do
so that so that we can obtain further. We can listen to them, hear them. I will check with the director tertiary. Perhaps yesterday, after the statement, they may have had some initial discussions, but it's something that you haven't brought to my attention. I'm interested in further engaging the leadership of the Teacher Training Students Association to listen to their stand. But my information and understanding as of this morning indicates that approved teacher training allowances have not been abated or reduced or restructured in any way.
All right, okay. So we'll take a break. When we return, OSP.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
JA Plant Food Ghana Limited has introduced the all-new Jetto X70 Plus to the market. Jetto X70 Plus is a modern, spacious family SUV with a stylish design, advanced technology, and outstanding quality that promises you luxury with affordability. Jetto X70 Plus comes with an exceptional engine warranty of 4 years or 100,000 kilometers, giving you the ultimate peace of mind for years to come. And our dedicated service center at JA Plant Food offers you a wide range of car services and world-class customer support. Be exclusive and outstanding. Get yourself the all-new Jetto X70 Plus. Get in touch with JA Plant Food Ghana Limited on 020-0000-831 or info@japlantfoodgh.com. Visit japlantfoodgh.com for more information.
To help meet your business and private printing needs successfully, we have just the right products and services. At Appointed Time Printing Limited, we specialize in digital printing, offset printing, packaging, and security printing. Our innovative designs and complete professional touch on our print products such as posters, flyers, brochures, magazines, whole cards, and any other print solution of your choice ensure that our customers are always happily connected to their audience. With our security printing section, our clients are assured of a highly secured and confidential work process from start to finish. At Appointed Time, our prices are very competitive. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is a solution.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show. I have the two honorable members of our Parliament, the Honorable Roxanne Defe-Makpo and the Honorable Ntim Fordjour. Right. So, we all heard about the issues that has happened with respect to the former Minister of Sanitation. And on page 3 of the Ghanaian Times, we are told that she's been arrested by the Office of Special Prosecutor. This comes in the wake of suspicion of corruption and corruption-related offences regarding large amount of money and other valuable items reportedly stolen from a residence. A statement from the OSP said the investigation aims to shed light on the alleged corruption and ascertain any wrongdoing in connection with the reported theft from a residence. The media reports have suggested that she possessed $1 million and all that. She issued a statement denying these allegations, stressing that the information being circulated in a domain differs significantly from the core of the initial complaint. And I'm sure that everybody knows the facts of the case. Now, she wrote to resign. The president wrote to accept the resignation. The 2 letters have been described by some people as love letters and quite inappropriate. I've seen an interview attributed to Ghana Integrity Initiative, and I've seen Imani, I've seen other people also refer to a line in the statement that suggests some form of exoneration by the president. And the one attributed to the Ghana Integrity Initiative says that that particular paragraph in the letter perhaps confirms the tag of clearing agent put on the president. We're also told that the Office of Special Prosecutor went to the residence of the former minister after the interrogation to go conduct a search on a place. There are people who have also laughed it off. And there are people who think that these are just gimmicks. Now, as we go through all of this, Occupy Ghana has issued a statement. And I find many portions of that statement quite serious and at the heart of a serious or a pretentious fight against corruption, especially amongst public office holders. And this is what I mean. Now, if you go through the statement, they actually take us through their issues with AG. Yes, the issues with the declaration of assets, the 6 months thing. Okay. And they believe that is an affront to the Constitution. And that 6 months that is being given flies in the face of the import of 2864. And now they think that 6 month period actually even gives public office holders the opportunity to do all manner of things within that 6 month period. And they say that they wrote to the Attorney General in 2020. The Attorney General responded and told them that we were going to work on that to okay, in fact, let me read exactly what he said. For the upteenth time, Ghanaians are confronted with another scenario of the suspected unexplained wealth of a public officer. And staring at the apparent impotence of the law in dealing with this outside Article 2864 of the Constitution, that article simply provides that an asset declared to have been acquired while in public office, quote, which is not reasonably attributable to income, gift, loan, inheritance, or any other reasonable source shall be deemed to have been acquired in contravention of this Constitution. From 2017, Occupy Ghana has consistently expressed concern about the necessity of reinforcing this asset declaration regime. This measure is vital in curbing the trend where public officers acquire unexplained wealth, especially where their known economic means cannot justify such acquisitions or wealth. To compound matters, although the Constitution demands in Article 2861 that public officers shall declare the assets and liabilities before taking office at the end of every 4 years and at the end of a term of office, Ghana's political class conspired to unconstitutionally extend the period of filing by 6 months under Section 1(4) of the Public Office Holders Declaration of Assets and Disqualification Act 1998, Act 550. The effect of this grave unconstitutionality is that once public officers get appointed without declaring assets and liabilities before taking office, as the Constitution demands, they, for most part, either do not declare at all or may engage in shenanigans such as presumptive, in quotes, declarations of non-existent assets in the hope of being able to acquire them. Our public campaign to remove this offensive unconstitutionality yielded no discernible results until we wrote to the Attorney General on 1st December 2019 to demand steps to amend the law. Thankfully, on 8th January 2020, the then Attorney General wrote to Occupy Ghana to agree to amend the law by deleting the unconstitutional extension of time and indicating that the office was seeking cabinet approval to prepare the necessary amendment bill to be subsequently laid before Parliament for enactment. And please follow from this part. Please kindly take your time and follow from this part and read along with me. After more than a year of receiving no information on the promised action, Occupy Ghana wrote again to the Attorney General on 16 July 2021 to request an update on whether there was anything that we could do to aid or speed up the amendment process. Curiously, this time, we were ignored. Our 24th September 2021 reminder was also ignored. Thus, on 21st October 2021, we wrote to the Office of the Special Prosecutor, inviting that office to throw its weight behind our fight for the critical amendment, which will give teeth to that office's expressed desire to pursue public officers with unexplained wealth. The OSP responded on 22nd October 2021 to agree with us and assure us of, quote, the unreserved backing of the office. We therefore began working on drafting what we considered a citizen bill to submit to Parliament for the sole purpose of the amendment. However, sometime in May 2022, we discovered that a draft Conduct of Public Officers Bill 2022 had been prepared, which not only took our concerns into consideration, but contained exhaustive provisions that would regulate what public officers may or may not do or acquire while in public office. We were, however, informed that although the Office of Attorney General had forwarded the bill to Cabinet, there was apparently considerable resistance or reluctance at Cabinet in granting approval for the bill to be forwarded to Parliament for debate and enactment. Since then, the following has transpired. Note carefully. 1. 29th May 2022, Occupy Ghana press release demanding that I, the President, summons an emergency cabinet meeting for the sole purpose of approving the bill. 2. The Attorney General provides a clear timeline on when the bill will be submitted to Parliament. 3. Parliament ensures passage before it rolls for the 2022 long vacation. No response. 2. 24th August 2022, Occupy Ghana letter to Attorney General inquiring about the status of the bill and demanding a roadmap on the questions posed in the 29th May 2022 press release. No response. 31st August 2022, Occupy Ghana write to information letter to Cabinet Secretary requesting information on the status of the bill and a roadmap on when it would be approved and sent to Parliament. 5th September 2022, Cabinet Secretary response marked confidential, and there's a reason why you should pay attention to why Occupy Ghana makes this disclosure. Marked confidential. To Occupy Ghana, stating that the Cabinet Committee on Governance and Legal Matters had considered the bill and referred it to Cabinet for approval. However, Cabinet had requested the committee to undertake further work on certain aspects of the bill and was awaiting the committee's recommendation to facilitate Cabinet approval and submission to Parliament. 17th October 2022, Occupy Ghana letter to Cabinet Secretary requesting a status update. No response. 11 January 2023, Occupy Ghana reminder to Cabinet Secretary requesting the status update. 14 February 2023, Val's Day. Cabinet Secretary letter marked confidential and secret. Now for this one, in addition to confidential, there's also secret. To Occupy Ghana, to state that the Cabinet Committee had resubmitted the bill to Cabinet with the necessary recommendations, but Cabinet, having reconsidered the bill, had declined approval because in its view, there are already adequate provisions in existing law to deal with the conduct of public officers. 20th February 2023, Occupy Ghana letter to Cabinet Secretary requesting a withdrawal of the confidential and secret status of the 14th February 2023 letter so that its disappointing contents, in quotes, may be shared with Ghanaians. No response. 27 February 2023, Occupy Ghana letter to Cabinet Secretary repeating request for withdrawal of the confidential and secret status of the 14 February 2023 letter, and pointing out that under the Right to Information Act 2019, Cabinet cannot purport to assert a privilege over the contents of the February 14, 2023 letter. No response. 30th May 2023, Occupy Ghana letter to Cabinet Secretary to state its surprise that the government this time, under pressure from the International Monetary Fund, had promised to enact the bill into law. We also attach a 20-page table comparing the contents of the bill with existing law to show that the vast majority of the bill's clauses do not already exist in Ghana law as falsely claimed by Cabinet, and therefore once again urging its quick passage into law. And 16 June 2023, Cabinet Secretary letter to Occupy Ghana, also marked confidential, stating that the 30th May 2023 letter and its attachments will be brought to the attention of Cabinet. It says, we have set out the above correspondence detail to show that in our view, the government appears inexplicably unwilling or unprepared to approve the bill and transmit it to Parliament for enactment. This is strikingly ironic because the passage of this bill was a campaign promise. At page 105 of the New Patriotic Party's 2022 manifesto, table 1.13 on governance, corruption and public accountability, items 235 and 236. Even the admitted IMF pressure does not appear to us to be having any effect. We are concerned that this deliberate dithering will remain until the people of Ghana take a firm interest in the bill and what it says, and then demand that Cabinet does what is required under the circumstances. We therefore invite Ghanaians, fellow civil society organizations and the media to join us in this campaign to ensure that Cabinet approves the bill and forwards it to Parliament, and that Parliament passes the bill into law all at the earliest times possible. I hope that both of you will give me a response.
Certainly. Ready, thank you. I saw this release yesterday.
Yes.
And I got particularly worried about paragraph 3, which you spoke to extensively. That their comments as contained in paragraph 3 is worrisome. You have no power to say that a law passed by Parliament is unconstitutional. There's no such power inherent in Occupy Ghana. If they are aggrieved by the provision of that law, the forum to go to is the Supreme Court. Let the Supreme Court make that determination.
Okay, they are not saying, they said you conspired.
Yes.
Unconstitutionally.
You see, I'm attacking the employment of diction, their choice of words. They are impugning improper motive to Parliament. And they cannot do that. I think it's a group of lawyers or a group
of professionals, including lawyers.
Including lawyers. So if you feel strongly about some provisions in that law, it is not for you to attack the integrity of Parliament, to use words like we conspire. To conspire, that's a crime. You understand? To conspire to undermine the Constitution is such a grievous crime. So I find it very, very offensive. I find it as unwarranted. If you are aggrieved by the provisions of the law they quoted, which is Act 550, go to the Supreme Court and let the Supreme Court make that pronouncement. Let the determination come that the particular provision in the law is unconstitutional, and so it is struck down as such. Then Parliament will take steps and do the needful. But you don't sit outside of Parliament and write things to attack the integrity of Parliament. It's unacceptable. Then again, they give a litany of instances, including dates regarding letters, confidential in some occasions, that they have sent to the Cabinet, the attorney, and all. Fortuitously, we are in a dispensation where the government, core government, is not only the sponsor of bills that can be enacted into law. So as we speak, on a very quiet note, myself and 2 other colleagues in Parliament, we are working on this.
On what?
On sponsoring a private member's bill on code of conduct.
Yeah, they said they were doing same until this was brought to their attention. The
yes, I've read that.
The public
that
officers bill.
Government was already.
Yes, and that was brought to their attention.
Yes.
When they read it, they realized that it principally had all the things that they were also working on.
But again, in their conclusion, they said that there's some government has developed code fit. There's some liturgy on the part of government to pursue this matter.
Yes.
Indeed, they allude to the fact that at a certain time during the cabinet meeting, there was heated debate, and people were not in agreement to cabinet.
No, they're actually referring to a letter, a response they got.
Okay.
And that response, so they speak about a first one, which says that a cabinet secretary responded and is marked confidential and said that the Cabinet Committee on Governance and Legal Matters had considered the bill and referred it to Cabinet for approval. But Cabinet had requested the committee to undertake further work on some aspects.
Yes.
Then they wrote another letter on the 17th of October, that's about 6 weeks after, asking for an update. They didn't get a response. Then from October, they waited another 3 months, 11 January. They wrote to the Cabinet Secretary requesting for an update again.
Yes, I've read all that.
Yes, they got no response.
About 10 or
then
11.
On 14th of February, now this time round, this letter from the Cabinet Secretary was marked not just confidential, but secret as well.
Yes.
And now they were informed that the Cabinet Committee had resubmitted a bill to Cabinet with the necessary recommendations.
Yes.
But Cabinet, having reconsidered the bill, had declined approval because in their view, there were already adequate provisions.
Yes.
Then they thought that these contents were disappointing.
Exactly.
But because it had been marked confidential and secret, they could not divulge it to the public.
Yes.
So they wrote on 2 occasions asking the Cabinet Secretary to remove the confidential and secret so that they can let Ghanaians know what the Cabinet of the Republic of Ghana thinks about this.
No response.
No response.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's my point. So between February and now, you could, as a group, have taken some initiative through a member of parliament. As we speak.
No, so they were up to 16 June. The last letter is 16 June.
Yes.
So up to June. So that's just some.
No, but I'm saying that
2 months ago.
Yes, but I'm saying that as of the 14th February 2023 letter, which told you specifically that cabinet, upon reconsideration of the bill, had declined approval. That's finality.
They kept engaging.
Yes, but I'm saying that should tell you that government is no longer interested. So the alternative is to use the private members route. And we speak of matters of this year. So these are matters of currency.
Right.
As we speak, I am working on a private members bill for bail. You know, in this country, we don't have any law on bail.
Okay.
It's the common law doctrine on bail. It's a discretion that the court exercises. I think that we've gotten to a stage where we need an enactment from Parliament regarding how bail should be exercised. The right of bail should be exercised. Then 2, the code of conduct. Look, we have a code of conduct for health workers, code of conduct for civil servants, code of conduct for GRA staff, code of conduct for GAPOA staff, code of conduct for, I think, local government, all manner of code of conducts, non-synchronized. And I made this discovery sometime last year as a result of some committee engagement. So myself and 2 others in Parliament, we are working on a private members bill. I think the bill is almost ready, the draft, so that we can engage the legislative department on this matter. So now we have avenues to be able to handle some of these matters. So for me, this letter from...
Are you not interested
Yeah.
in the posturing and conduct of your government on this matter? Are you not interested that irrespective of the fact that your government in this 2022 manifesto, promised to do something. This has been its conduct over the year. Is that not of public interest?
May I add that indeed, as part of our business for this meeting, there's a compendium of activities that Parliament will engage in, including number of bills to be considered, number of motions to be considered, number of questions for ministers to answer, and all that. Amongst the bills to be considered is this bill, Code of Conduct for Public Officers Bill.
Yeah, but I'm sure you were not aware that Cabinet has not granted approval.
Hold on.
Yes.
And this is a 2022 bill, which ought to have been worked on this year.
Yes.
But I see some liturgy, and I see that by next year, the life of this Parliament will come to an end, and the bill may have to be presented again. So, if Occupy Ghana has this background information, the point I'm making, Doc, is that they ought to have abandoned that path and taken the unbeaten path of private members' bill, so this can be done expressly. It's just we need to synchronize the existing code of conduct and anchor it in the constitutional provision regarding code of conduct for public officers for some designated public office holders, and do it. We can always, at the cost of consideration stage, make amendments and improve the legislation. But the most important thing is that it has to be passed because of the matters such as the Sisidi Adapa issues. So these are my preliminary views on the matter.
On the Sisidi Adapa issue, so I can go to.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
and the OSP.
Cecilia, I've had the opportunity to speak extensively on the matter.
Okay.
And my view is that for purposes of good corporate governance, she ought not to have that quantum of money at home. You see, the conscience of the nation was shocked not by the nature of the crime, but by the quantum being the subject of the crime. In fact, she would have attracted sympathy if it had come out that her jewelry had been stolen from her room, her kente cloths had been stolen, the suits of her husband have also been stolen, and some other valuables. Everyone, including myself, would have sympathized with him, because myself had suffered burglary. People broke into my home and took my property away. But the revulsion that the entire nation is expressing is in respect of the quantum of the amount mentioned. But for the quantum, should have been the necessary victim that she ought to have been. But in this case, she's not. She's become, in law school, there's a cliche that we play with, complainant and accused. Complainant and accused. So she's found herself as a complainant, and suddenly she's been accused of, hoarding monies. Monies, Randy, that persons like me have reasonably linked it to her work on the door drains. Because you see, when she was questioned in Parliament by Honorable Eric Opoku regarding how she applied $43 million, she simplistically said that she desilted the door drain and carted some 5 heaps of rubbish dump away from the outdoor site. That's all. Eric went further to ask for details of contracts awarded. Those documents, as we speak, have not been provided. The nature of the contract, the nature of the work. Because you see, $43 million is no money that you put in your back pocket and walk about with it. That's a colossal amount of money. So, we're all politicians. We're all senior public servants. But I'm worried. I'm worried that in being a member of a government that is touting cashless economy, digitalization, prosecuting people for dealing in foreign currencies at Cycle and at Nima Mamobi Gota, for a senior member of the government to have this amount of foreign currency in a home, and much more, so much so that this amount was stolen, $1 million. I'm not saying it. She said 300,000 euros. As for the amount of Ghana cedis, you are careful not to state it because it may exacerbate the matter further. It's worrisome. And so if special prosecutor is delving into the matter, it falls squarely within their mandate. Corruption related matters. They can always delve into it. So we want to see, we expect some outcome, and then we can deal with the rest.
Yeah, Dr. Randy, I have always supported any support or any form of support that any CSO or any group of persons want to lend to government in our collective effort at strengthening laws, strengthening institutions for us to be more resilient and be on the preventive side in our quest and poise to reduce corruption and its prevalence. African Development Bank posited that nearly $148 billion is what Africa loses annually through corruption. And so all of us are minded that we should be able to take steps to ensure that corruption is mitigated, if not eradicated. And talking about corruption, the first thing that comes to people's minds is political office holders or the political class. It appears political class as synonymous seemingly with corruption. But corruption manifests in various facets, and corruption has many dimensions and many forms of corruption. And oftentimes, much as I cannot on any occasion say for a fact that political class of any country should be cannot be complicit in any way of corruption. Whereas I cannot say that. I can say also that there are many other ways that countries lose funds and monies and resources through corruption other than the channel that may be attributed to the political class. And that we must also be minded. Because oftentimes studies have shown that those are even much more gargantuan than the ones that others might be of interest, because those seemingly to, we have voted you in power, we have given you the resources of state, and it is expected that you most judiciously put to use public resources and not appropriate it for your private gains. And that is most unfortunate. So the attempt by Occupy Ghana and their interests in the Conduct of Public Officers Bill 2020 is one that we cannot take away from. But whilst I commend them at their attempt to support government in building institutions, as many CSOs commended highly the efforts of government in establishing the office of Special Prosecutor, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in his poise and quest and commitment at eradicating corruption beyond rhetorics, went further to institute the office of establish the office of the Special Prosecutor as an additional institution that will support the anti-corruption architecture that we have in this country to ensure that we mitigate corruption. A lot of applause was received on that. And so I agree, we have existing laws. Many occasions in this country we have complained that our problems are not so much about new laws that must be enacted, but more importantly and principally are the effective and efficient implementation of the existing laws that we have passed. So if we are only minded in passing new laws, but little attention is paid to how well we are implementing the existing laws, that will be problematic. But whilst I admire the zeal and commitment of Occupy Ghana in their pursuit of this quest, I would also advise that they are measured in the way that they express some seeming frustration. If you read this, there's not a single paragraph that you would read without having a feel of the sense of frustration, or maybe someone to say urgency on their part. But they should also know that all of us are minded that we must protect the resources of this country. So whereas we will not in say So we can welcome new legislations, but let us also be focused on implementing the existing laws. They have a problem with the public officers.
Reverend, with respect to the Occupy Ghana, the issue of existing laws and others, the point they make is that if you look at 2864, which deals with the declaration of assets, it speaks about, yes, it speaks about before taking office. Then it says that we have done an Act 550, which was to give effect.
No, but there are three scenarios.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Before
point.
taking office,
yes.
After exiting office,
yes,
and at the time
completion of office.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's saying that by this 550, what has happened is that instead of the before taking office, we have now created a situation where it says it gives the public office holder 6 months
within.
Yes.
Yeah, so Doc, now that's the thrust of their disagreement.
Yes.
And in describing that disagreement, they go on to quote the Public Officers Holders Declaration of Assets and Disqualification Act 1998.
Yes.
Act 550.
Yes.
1998.
Yes.
Act 550.
Yes.
To their mind, it is in contravention with fundamentally Article 2861 of the Constitution.
Yes, because 2861 says before taking office.
Yes. So
and the 550
that is their contention.
The
that's
550
their major contention.
is giving the public office holders 6 months.
Yes.
So and they give reasons why they think that 6 months is problematic.
So Doc, tenably so, if they have identified to their mind that there's a seeming contravention of Acts 550 to 2861 of the Constitution, that's my good brother Eche advised. The Supreme Court is there to interpret such matters. Every enactment of Parliament is also subject to the interpretation of the Supreme Court. We just recently had...
You don't find it curious? No. You don't find it curious that, you see, what you have described is a route to take.
Yes.
What they are pursuing is also another route.
Yes.
And I see Occupy Ghana, in terms of this letter, as not wanting to be confrontational.
No,
hold on. No, just hold on. I'm not saying that I agree with their route.
Okay.
I'm not saying I agree.
Okay.
But I'm saying that it is also a route.
Okay.
Why they choose to take this route
engage
is their matter.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But at least that's a route that they've taken.
Okay.
And nobody doubts that is also not a route that can be taken.
Okay.
Great.
Now, you would realize that they refer to the very first letter that Attorney General writes to them.
Yeah.
And in that letter, they say that the Attorney General wrote to Occupy Ghana to agree to amend the law by deleting the unconstitutional extension of time and indicating that office was seeking cabinet approval to prepare the necessary amendment bill to be subsequently laid before Parliament for enactment. I'm sure that if at this point the Attorney General indicated to them that there was a disagreement, they didn't agree with them in terms of their position of the law, they would not have continued in that regard.
So, Doc,
this gave them some comfort.
The integrity of the Attorney General.
With correspondence. They are not making up stories.
So whereas in portions of the and I'm not my posture is not to be adversarial to the position of Occupy Ghana, that I must state at the beginning, because I fully support every CSO, every organization who is anti-graft organization, or whose object and passion and pursuit is to strengthen further our laws and institutions so that we'll protect the modest resources of the state. That said, what I'm saying is that their disagreement principally have been captured in paragraph 3.
Yeah.
And it's seeming, to their mind, conflict between Act 550, which was passed in 1998, and 2861 of the Constitution. There are many routes, I agree, to address this and to ensure that if they think that some lacuna is addressed. One of the ways they employed was engaging the Attorney General's office. But instead of them shedding light on the kind of cooperation they have had, they seem only to be shedding light on instances where certain disagreements came up. And so they need to acknowledge that the cooperation that they have had from the office of the Attorney General right from the beginning of their pursuit is one that cannot be understated. However, if it got to some point where certain disagreements came, these are matters of the law, and minds are bound to disagree. In one instance, the response that they quote from the Cabinet Secretary that they describe in their item number 8, the 20th February 2023, Occupy Ghana letter to Cabinet Secretary requesting a withdrawal of the confidential and secret status of the 14th February 2023 letter to its disappointing content. Yes. Could have been avoided.
Why?
To its disappointing content.
Why?
May be said with Ghanaians. You can disagree with certain positions.
Yes.
But that should get you to be measured in the way that you describe it.
Why?
So that is for what is what.
Yes.
So for what is what.
In fact,
so that is my view on this. Again,
Honorable, I know that very sensitive issues are discussed at cabinet, and therefore I appreciate the oath that is taken. I appreciate why some things must be labeled confidential and secret and all that. I appreciate all those things. But when there's a discussion about declaration of assets and conduct of public office holders, and a civil society group has engaged government so far, and they've been told, okay, in the first place, we agree, we want cabinet approval to do something. The cabinet says we refer this to this, we refer this to that. A committee, subcommittee has worked, they brought it. Cabinet secretary says that we've sent it back to them because we want them to rework certain options. Then finally, they are told that cabinet has not approved it because they disagree with it.
Look.
Obviously, it is disappointing for any CSO that has been on the path of getting this public office holders bill enacted to pursue this thing for 3 years, only to be told that after all this thing, cabinet says that all the work that has been done, they don't agree, so they have not approved it, and therefore there's nothing that is going to come to parliament for any debate and possible enactment.
Doc,
that's obviously disappointing.
Doc, in the history
and they think that Ghanaians deserve to know what their cabinet thinks about a bill to regulate the conduct of public officers.
Doc, very much so. But across the world and in governance system, there are many decisions that have gone to the attention of cabinets, many governments, even in our Sub-Saharan, in Ghana, in our Fourth Republic, many NDC, MPP, many cabinets have been constituted. And within the tenure of cabinets, many decisions or proposals have come to them. Not all of them have been passed.
True.
Not all of them have been assented to. It does not mean that the ones that did not find expression in acceptance are sort of bogus or sort of inimical to the position of the state. There are considerations why decisions are taken to approve or disapprove.
So we should know.
Recently, I represented, I just want to...
Yes.
That it is normal practice that cabinet feels. Cabinet is a combination of various members, various ministers. Recently, I represented my minister at cabinet and presented a proposal. In our view, we thought it was fantastic. We thought it was well researched. We thought it was going to be great and I mean a paradigm shift in education system for the country. But we captured our proposal and then we defended same to cabinet. Cabinet had other recommendations and which informed us to now reposition and take cue from the views of cabinet so that we could reposition that same intent with the same objective. Sometimes maybe the mechanism or certain things that go with the same intent that you want to achieve is what cabinet might disagree. But you can now come back, take cue from the views on grounds of same cabinet is approved to rework on it, and because cabinet does not oppose any intent to strengthen, capacities of institutions and law to protect the modest resources of the country. However, it's not every bill that is anti-graft bill by the state and form that is that passes through simply because it's an anti-graft bill.
This particular bill, incidentally, and quite significantly, seeks to regulate the conduct of the very people who are superintending the
approval of sale.
No, but already, look, already everybody reading this will sense strong prejudice on the part of Occupy Ghana,
Yes.
even in the way that they accuse Parliament for conspiring to pass a law which, to their view, though they have not tested in Supreme Court, but they have the gravitas to conclude
if I do a poll,
that it is
if
unconstitutional.
I do a poll today, if I conduct a poll on this show today, I'll be surprised if 90% of the respondents believe that Parliament has been engaged in a lot of conspiracy.
Well,
over the years.
Well, we look forward to that.
No, I'm just saying.
We look forward to that.
It's not as if you don't hear that every day.
No, we look forward to that.
Yes.
But I just want to conclude on this to say that, that's why I stated my position at the outset. All of us here, including your good self, we support and this government, we support every suggestion, legislation, institution, any arrangement that will help us further strengthen our arrangements to protect the modest resources. So constructively, the proposal that comes also ought to be scrutinized and the best one accepted. Now again, and I haven't done so, there are still avenues. If some of us in Parliament, my good friend Honorable Dafiameko and a number of us in Parliament, if any day Occupy Ghana should engage us, state their proposals, their intents and all that clear, we will engage them.
I'm working on
and
it.
And definitely dovetail that into existing works that are ongoing on the private members bill, which is targeted at the same pursuit or similar pursuit. That can be explored. We have recently, pursued a private members bill on a proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill 2022, which has gone all the way from first reading, the second reading, now the consideration stage.
Well, that one doesn't govern the conduct of all of you.
but it's a matter.
Maybe some of you.
Mischief detected. Mischief detected.
Let me be careful when I respond to this. It's a trap for all you know. But I must conclude that President's acceptance of Honorable Cecilia Dapa's resignation letter, in its content, verbiage, there's a backboard, there's nothing to be undermined, there's nothing to be twisted, there's nothing to be misquoted about.
My dear Intim
very sound. Lebro.
My dear Intim My dear Intim
there's nothing to be twisted about it.
The private members bill
But I will say that Dr. Randy, I have a former woman organizer in my constituency, polling station. Her name is so interesting.
Yes.
Amma Nyasamhwe.
Yes.
Amma Nyasamhwe.
Yes.
Get a matter and see.
Yes. Oh, there's a famous.
That's the name of Ghana. In fact, that is Ghana's property.
In fact, there's a famous
Republic of Nyasamhwe.
There's a famous criminal law case reported.
Okay.
The Republic versus Nyasamhwe.
Very popular case. Yeah. So no, it's when such matters happen.
Yes.
We should. It's a matter that generally the public has expressed very huge interest in, from all political parties, MPP, NDC. The general public are very much concerned about this issue, and so the minister has resigned, and she did not hesitate to resign when the matter came to public notice, and the president did not hesitate to accept the resignation, and more even importantly, subsequent to the resignation, appropriate institutions and procedures have been commenced to investigate the matter, as have been alleged. And so, Office of the Special Prosecutor has taken that up yesterday. They issued a statement indicating the steps they have taken to investigate what they have called suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses regarding large amounts of money and other valuable items reportedly stolen from the residence of the former minister. But in all this, we also must not forget so quickly the positive contributions that in over 33 decades of the public life of the Honorable Cecilia Dapa, she had impacted, which Ghanaians are grateful for and which posterity will also look kindly upon. So much as the matter is in the watch and pray, and as His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had said time and time again, his intent of taking office or serving the good people of Ghana in the high office of president is not to amass wealth, is to serve the good people and leave legacies that are sustainable. And so anyone that is seeking to support him by serving in the ministerial appointment or any appointment for that matter must also be guided by the philosophy, ideology, and posture, commitment, and what the venerable man has demonstrated in all his public life as a man that cannot have any record of corruption whatsoever against him, a man that has selflessly served in any capacity that was given to him and in his current position as president. All of us who are privileged to be serving under His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ought to be guided by same. But that is not to pass any premature judgment on the Honorable Cecilia Dapaah. And we only wait. These are matters of allegations. We only wait to get to the bottom of it. And the state is interested, just as the public and media are also interested.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Doc. Let me conclude a few rebuttals, but I think I'll let it go. Whether or not the president is in office not to amass wealth, whether or not his appointees are in office not to amass wealth, is a matter for the public to gauge. I won't use any words. I'll leave that for the public. But we are gauging conduct, not words. So I want Reverend to know. So by their conduct, they are not in sync with the things they tell us. Look, Occupy Ghana is a darling of this government. They actually promoted this government when they were in opposition as a party to gain executive power. Now they are crying. They shouldn't cry. It serves them right. It serves them right that you don't promote a party that promised to do A, and when they get to power, they don't do. They go and do B. They should come to Parliament. Indeed, Parliament. The 6th Parliament passed a code of conduct for MPs. So Parliament, we have our code of conduct. But like I said, as a private member of the House, we are working on a bill that will become a code of conduct law for the entire nation. So they can come and engage us, and then we can synchronize our efforts and make sure that we work on it and it gets passed. Look, they had this to say, and I see their disappointment. We have set out, that's in paragraph 8 of their release, we have set out the above correspondence, little to show that in our view, the government appears inexplicably unwilling or unprepared to approve the bill and transmit it to Parliament for enactment. This is strikingly ironic, because the passage of this bill was a campaign promise at page 105 of the New Patriotic Party's 2020 Manifesto Table 1, sub 13, on governance, corruption, and public accountability, items 235 and 236. Even the admitted IMF pressure does not appear to us to be having any effect. We are concerned that this deliberate deterring will remain until the people of Ghana take a firm interest in the bill. And that's what we, the electoral representatives of the people, are doing. So they supported this government to come to power. The government has disappointed them. They should admit it and disengage and come and support the NDC so that we can come back and put some of
Dr. Randy.
Yes.
Now on the final issue regarding Cecilia Dapaah and her status, I pray that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, they've released a lot of press statements regarding some work that they are doing. I hope that they bring finality to the investigations. People are really interested. We don't want this to be an arrest, interrogated, granted bail, and that ends it. We want to see an end to the investigations and see whether or not there's a prima facie determination so that this matter can be gone into on its merit.
I have just a quick update which indicates the commitment of the Office of the Attorney General in their cooperation with Occupy Ghana, which I think I must read quickly. That action was taken by the.
Oh, does this supersede their release?
No, not does it, but just
update from where?
No, sufficient actions were taken to update the bill with fresh inputs and stakeholder forum was also organized specifically at Teachers Hall, including SRAG and all relevant civil society representatives that presented contributions, and the bill was subsequently laid in Parliament. And this is coming from the Attorney
What was
General.
laid in Parliament?
When?
And that.
But the cabinet has put Zome on the thing.
So,
is laid in Parliament.
yes, but
the cabinet has put Zome on the thing.
But this is coming from the Attorney General, and so his commitment in cooperating with.
Are you saying that the Attorney General says it is not true that cabinet
has declined
approval?
No, that is not the point I'm making. But I even cited to you that I, as a minister representing my deputy representing my minister, have had occasions where we make proposals. Some are
no, but that's
approved,
not the point.
and some
this
are
is
not
about
approved.
this bill,
and there are constructive basis why certain drafted bills.
Is the AG cabinet has seen?
But let me end on this note. As we want to be guided by code of conduct and all that, Proverbs 13:11. All of us must be guided by that.
I agree.
Dishonest money dwindles.
Yes.
But money that gathers little by little. He that gathers.
Please repeat that again.
Dishonest money dwindles.
And amplify your voice.
Dishonest money dwindles.
No.
Dishonest money dwindles.
Dwindles.
Yes.
Dwindles.
Dishonest money.
It
dwindles.
Yes.
But he that gathers money,
yes,
little by little, makes it grow.
Okay.
Proverbs 13:11. In
Proverbs
all that we
13:11.
seek to be guided, let us be guided by that also, for what it's worth.
But
to conclude with an invitation for National Development Conference, which is a major conference that is non-denominational,
Christian
that is
Development
not
Conference.
only for Christians, that is for every person seeking to serve in any public office or is already serving in any capacity, from assembly member, as a ward chairman or branch executive, constituency officer, all the way to members of parliament, MMDCEs. Everyone is invited. It has been spearheaded by the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Kamiche.
In fact, when I'm done, when I am able to
some further information,
get you out of the studio, I am interviewing the organizers.
Fantastic.
Of this.
Yes, I'm part of the planning committee.
Okay.
So I just want.
Before you
I know my colleagues will come and continue, but to invite all of us tomorrow, His Excellency the President is part of this meeting. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and as well as His Excellency the former President, His Excellency John Mahama, and His Excellency John Ejekum Kufuor, and all relevant stakeholders and major speakers are coming. So let us also, bipartisan thing, everyone from any political party. Let us come and build on ethics, build on values of integrity, so that when we get the opportunity to serve, we will serve well and protect the modest resources of the.
As you've promised us that you're going to get a lot more information on the
tertiary,
the teacher training
yes,
allowance.
I've had some information.
Yes, so the information that I have is that it used to be 204 cedis, 204. Okay. That is what they were given earlier on, and then it was calculated on 8 months. 8 months. That was the period. So 240 days, which was how long
they stayed in school.
Yeah. So that's how.
Now they are doing 6 months.
Now they are doing 5.8 months, which has been approximated to 6 months. So it's now 175 days instead of 240 days.
But they do 3 months a semester.
Yeah, so now, they used to do 240 days, and it was 204 cedis. So it was a 204 times 240 days. That's what they were earning. And now it's gone down to
149.
No, it's 153.
Okay.
It is when their dues are deducted that it comes to 149.
It's actually 159.
Yes. So it's from 204 to 159, and it is now 175 days instead of 240 days.
Okay.
So that is the situation with the teacher trainees. So indeed, it's dropped.
It's 196.
Yes.
Yeah, 196.
Right.
There were some details which I would want to further interrogate before I speak to. So
okay. So today is the birthday of a big sister of mine. Okay. So her younger siblings were my mates and my friends. She's a former deputy minister, and she's also the MP of my in-laws. So the member of parliament,
Ketu South
constituency. the Honorable Jifa Gumashi.
Oh,
today's her birthday.
Daddy, happy birthday to you.
She always looks 30.
Yes, I would say 26.
She keeps cheating nature.
There was a picture I saw with her son. You wouldn't believe.
Yeah, she keeps cheating nature.
I mean, yeah. So, Daddy, happy birthday to you.
When we were growing up, they were the big girls. They were the big girls. Yeah.
The way you said that.
I just remember.
My dear Tim Fojo.
My dear Tim Fojo. I just remember some things which I would not want Randy and you to mischievously remind me of. So I would just say, my dear
Tim Fojo. You have to say, my dear Roxy.
My dear Roxy. My dear brethren. But every Sunday we say, my dear brethren.
I told you guys that. What's the name of the bill?
We are co-sponsors.
The bill is called what?
A proper human sexual rights.
I told you that
values.
It regulates the conduct of some of you, not all of you. Anyway, so my dear Honorable.
Yes.
We'll be back shortly.
3 days ago, what has been happening? A report purporting or coming from the Office of the Special Prosecutor trying to indict the Deputy Commissioner of Operations and myself. And if anybody who has read that report very well will know the basis of that. And luckily for me, God is always on my side. Before that report came, that person had made a statement to some people who had come to tell him he was going to publish something that will discredit me, and he will do that. And I even sent people to go and tell him that he's a small boy. I'm older than him. I have lived a meaningful life. If he attempts to destroy me, it won't be easy for him. People have tried it. I have survived. And this one too, I'll survive. All that happened. One of the reasons was because of Mr. Akurugu. He wanted Mr. Akurugu to be seconded to his office. And I said no. Mr. Akurugu is a customer.
Stand to win your share of up to 10 million Ghana cedis in prizes with Betway's Scratch and Win. You can earn your first scratch card by playing table games, slots, or quick games. Scratch and reveal a range of exciting prizes from smartphones to fuel vouchers and more. Visit www.betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and couple the makers in
The pneumatological aberration of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. I'm up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Ewo Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Bwache Hospital Junction. Sakradi. Efiekuma. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply. A state-of-the-art facility built with your family needs in mind. A medical center positioned for all your fertility problems and other diseases. Medimosis Clinic and Prostate Center. Our goal is to help our patients achieve and maintain optimal health. We have fully functional OPD laboratories in all our branches. Do you have problems urinating? Medimosis is the ultimate solution. Our Prostacure X capsules and Prostacure Herbal Tea treat prostate problems. Afromosis capsules gives you maximum performance. And for the ladies, Femacure X capsules solves all your menstrual problems. Locate Medimosis Clinic and Prostate Center at Adenta Barrier near the traffic light. Ashaman Ajay Kojo, Kumasi Ahinima Kokobing, and in Accra, Ministries after the Ghana Highways Yard. Call 0244 068 447. We accept National Health Insurance card and all other private insurance card. Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center, your ultimate solution for prostate problems.
Yamawakwaba, the Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. Ahadie, a bano KSC near Wakadia. Ubenya Biwaha. Kabian in the house, any new here. Yansu ye were winning the four, or best son we ye amount. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories, ye jume did ye. 24/7. Ye CCU engine, brake, battery, yes, a sound tie. Say bano car wash dia. Je wo abe fun fidelity say steamer ye the whole car engine abra nsuo core engine nim ye san ye detailing metre say ye betwitwu car no mu ba bia ma o ye wi a ye san polish car na ma o kama enye we no munku ye san to car batteries tires rims any de keke kan Manadum Auto Fix and Accessories ema o car ensi ne dadem na enwu adwuma ma o hwehwe ye chira kwan wo dansoma na sorry dan ho a ene KFC bon hwanimu e won kran se wo information anansem bi se bia 024 651 9369. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. O kwan so yon kwo papa.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. And it's time to check out what is trending on social media. Don't forget that I have a conversation about the National Development Conference that is coming off from tomorrow. Quite an interesting one, and you should stay glued to watch that interview that's coming right after the trends. But let's see, what's trending?
Well, it's been Cicely Adapa, of course, and at this school, at Isidore College, they've been in the trends. Someone says handing over baton from Cicely Adapa to at this school. So let me just get straight into it. Yesterday, we got the information from the OSP that our dearest Cicely Adapa was under arrest, or they're going to investigate.
Are you a co-father? He's the only person who has a patent to address people as dearest and dear.
She's our dearest Cicely Adapa. So let's take a look at some of the comments on Twitter yesterday. So Kojo Dynamic Adam Perry says Cicely Adapa's issue can't be overlooked by the usual PR covered by this OSP and the government. La Bianca's issue was also left in the middle of the road and must be investigated thoroughly. All right, so that's from this one says that we live in a country where when you question people's wealth, others come for your neck and tag you as a hater and a pauper. We embolden people to acquire wealth by every means.
No, read the one in tree.
Oh, and for here come when you ask such questions, say and for here come we embolden people to acquire wealth by every means, but it's Cicely Adapa we are drawing the line. Shaggy, okay.
Okay, that one you shouldn't have read it.
Oh,
but I pardon you, don't understand it, so that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Okay. I didn't know that. I've always said that anyone who defends Cicely Adapa should be arrested if Ghana is a serious country that's poised to fight corruption and protect the public purse. Okay, this one says, Honorable Cicely Adapa has given me more reason to demand that public officials account for their wealth. And I suspect the boyfriends of Cicely Adapa's 18-year-old house help were controlling her in the stealing. A normal young girl can't steal such a huge amount on her own. Okay, so
she was 17 when the
17. So that was last year when the incident happened. Oh, but kind of ex. That's nice. Anyway, let's talk about Adisco. Yesterday, Adisco College, I started trending on social media because of a video, and we're not sure if I'm sure you must have seen it. Whatever, but the GS released a statement. But let's take a look at some of the comments coming in this one about the situation. But also, let me say that they are all Form 3 students. my sources in the school tell me, that, my sources. So please, they have all from Houston, not a senior and a junior thing going on. Anyway, let's go to the comments now. And so this one says, Adisadel College does not tolerate such acts of violence. Kudos to the administration for ensuring that sanity is being maintained on Campus Hill at Disco. That's from Engineer Ampofo. Kenny Chumesi says that what happened in Adisadel happens in most senior high schools. A senior once kicked my stomach because I refused to wash his school uniform. Students are forced to keep mute when seniors molest them. When you try to report, you are then tagged as a snitch. So this is like the bigger picture, as happens. And Kojosu says, as for the Adisadel College Asodie, we don't want an apology. We want punishment, severe punishment from Kojosu on Twitter. Kofi Jesse says, the viral video involving the bullying of junior students of Adisadel College is very sad. We are slowly deteriorating as society here. Okay. We shouldn't temper justice with mercy on this issue. The boy needs to be suspended by WAEC for a year or two, spend 6 months in jail, and the leniency on some of these issues is what is down in this country. A day is come when a student will lose his or her life to bullying. So these are some of the comments bringing on social media, bringing to light some of the things that happens in our senior high school. So that will be for the trends today. I'll be back tomorrow with everything. Doc.
All right. So the Church of Pentecost is actually at the forefront of a national development conference.
Fantastic.
Yes, I think there are too many. We have too many developmental challenges and too many economic problems, and
the church can help.
They need to. Yeah, the church wants to bring everybody on board to speak about it. Yeah. So almost everybody is going there.
Yeah. And it's Church of Pentecost.
Mr. DRS will be there, His Excellency. And then the former presidents will be there. Everybody from all sides.
He's also Mr.
They are going to be there. Unfortunately, you won't be there. But you'll be monitoring.
I'll be monitoring.
And be checking the trends.
I'll be checking the trends
on it.
On it, and the Church of Pentecost. Church of Pentecost is a big church. You see, when we are talking about the churches, we talk about Pentecost, Methodism, and Church Baptist, and the other ones that you don't like too.
Which there's no church. You mean those people? Those people who own churches. Those who say they own churches. Okay.
Let me get
I keep telling you that when I was young, there were a lot of juju men. Now, many of them are wearing suits, and they say that they run things that they call churches. Yeah. So if you go to a place called a church and for 1 hour there's even no one Bible, there's no single Bible quotation, then you realize that you have a mental health problem. Anyway. So I'm going to speak with the organizers, the National Development Conference. I'm going to speak with them right after, and you can check on the internet about what people are saying about it. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Definitely, Doc.
My dear
Jesse, my dearest Dr. Andy. Oh no! No, the dearest be Papa and Sandy.
Ever TV who can't quite yourself. All right. So up next is our conversation on the National Development Conference. I'll see you there tomorrow. All right.
Leadership is the fulcrum around which all human development efforts revolves. Whether seen at the personal, national, or geopolitical and economic development perspectives, it remains a central enabler of all successful and sustainable development efforts. Join me live on Metro TV and VOL online radio every Thursday as we explore the germane and pragmatic rudiments of leadership, teamwork, and change management strategies for the betterment of our society at large. I am Dr. Victor Abbey, your host. Be my guest as we learn, unlearn, and relearn to accelerate the development of our society.
Leadership 360 is brought to you by GOL, V5 Solutions Limited, and FV Global Consults.
The world has seen a lot of evolution in recent times. Global network facilitated by trade continues to grow stronger and forge nations closer together.
On International Trade Focus, we'll share with you the current industry, tech, and commercial avenues turning the world's trade wheel. This is your gateway to international business connections and trading events. Get the inside views, vital information, trends, and analysis on emerging trade giants in Ghana and beyond. International Trade Focus, the global television trade showcase, transcending barriers in creativity and innovation. Join me, Anna Spiel, as I give you a whole menu of international trade activities. International Trade Focus, your timely business hub. International Trade Focus is brought to you by GOL, ADB, Pediatric Valley Resorts, and Public Elegance.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is still Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV, and there's a National Development Conference coming up, and I've seen the flyers, I've seen the write-up. It looks like almost all the key people who matter in this economy will be at this conference. What is this conference about? What has inspired it? Who are those who will be speaking? What do we seek to achieve with this conference? Is it just another talk shop as we've been having over the decades in this country? All right, so I have two persons here with me on the show, and honestly, there's one of them who I'd always thought was a Muslim. So I saw Elder. I was like, wow. I'd always thought he was a Muslim. But you also get to find out about that this morning. But with me on the show this morning, I have Apostle Dr. Philip Osei Kosa, and he is the director of the Counseling Ministry of the Church of Pentecost and a member of the Planning Committee. Good morning, Doc. Apostle Doctor. Good morning, and welcome to the show. Yeah. Also with me on the show this morning, you've seen his face, yes, a few times, okay. And I'm sure that on the 5th of January you saw him, that dawn thing in the Parliament, okay. But he wasn't speaking in tongues. He was doing serious politics. Okay, he's here with us. And the Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, MP for Banda. Today, I get to find out that it's actually Elder Ahmed Ibrahim. Elder morning.
Good morning, Mina.
I'd always thought you were a Muslim.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it's because of a name.
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
My mother is a Muslim.
Okay.
My father too was a Muslim.
Okay.
So the Ibrahim is my father's name.
But were you born a Muslim?
No. I was born a Presbyterian.
Okay.
My father and my parents were all Presbyterians. They converted along the line, converted our names. But we refused to be the Muslim.
Okay. And you moved from Presby to Pentecost?
Yeah, they even sent us to Islamic school.
Okay.
So that we could be Muslims.
So you went to Makaranta?
It was when I got to, it was Arabic English.
Okay.
So it was when I got to.
So you started at Makaranta? So you know how to write from the right to the left?
Oh, I can recite some.
Oh, I see.
Not really.
I see.
So I got to Pentecost. I diverted to Pentecost in 98.
Okay. 1998. Right. That's interesting.
And my pastor said I shouldn't change the name.
Okay. Just keep it like that. Okay.
It was from church to Muslim, back to church, changing your name 3 times.
Okay, so Reverend Tim Forjo, who was with us earlier on the show, and he spoke about this particular development conference. He's also still around with us. We'll be speaking with him as well as we move along. But Apostle Doctor, let me start with you. National Development Conference, what is it?
Yeah.
What is it, and why is the Church of Pentecost involved in this issue? You focus on your offering tithes.
Thank you, Randy. And I believe you will permit me to at least extend some greetings.
Please do.
Out there.
Please do.
And I want to greet your cherished viewers.
Right.
And also the leadership of the Church of Pentecost, the Chairman, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, the General Secretary, Apostle Alexander Nanayaokumi Labi, then the International Missions Director, and the Executive Committee members. To answer your question, let me pick it from here. We are not only interested in the tithe and the offering.
Okay.
And when the tithes and offerings are also taken, it is also meant for development.
Okay.
Hence the need for this national agenda. So National Development Conference, as we all know, in a state, we are all looking for development. Then in the lives of individuals, we are also looking for development. And we are looking at it from the national perspective. We vote politicians to power, and we expect that they will at least enhance our livelihood. And we've come to realize that it is not the work that ought to be done by just the politicians. It is a national issue. And then everybody must speak into that. So the church, we realize that we don't have to leave it in the hands of the politicians. We need to bring in all stakeholders, that is the technocrats, the politicians themselves, and then the religious bodies, and our chiefs, and all others, that we are able to hold consensus, come out with a vision or a plan, if I may say, to come out with a national policy by which we would rule the affairs of the country. And the church is coming in, or the religious bodies is coming in to serve as monitoring group. If we are able to develop an agenda, it is not going to be a particular party's manifesto, but it is going to be a holistic one where the church can also help so far as monitoring is concerned, and we can enhance our development as a nation. And that is what we have thought through. We realize that we need to bring people on board, and we are able to champion this agenda.
Now, Honorable, the people say that we have the National Development Planning Commission. Per the Constitution, that's their job. Why will the Church of Pentecost be interested in this, and why this time?
Yeah, my brother, let me say a very good morning to our cherished viewers and to the leadership and the Executive Council of the Church of Pentecost. Clearly, your question is a very legitimate question. And I think that though Article 86 of the Constitution has provided for the National Development Planning Commission, which should be chosen by the President at the time. And you know, the President also belongs to a political party. And there's no way the President at the time who should choose or constitute the National Development Planning Commission will choose people from the other party. So there must be a bridge at a point. And if you look at our nation, judging from the just recent electoral results, 6 million, 6 million, both parties have had more than 45, 46%. It means if you are to use only 50% of the people, choose from them in constituting your National Development Planning Commission, it means already almost close to 50% are already out. But that does not solve the problem. And Randy, if you could go back a bit, when we were in difficulties, I was in Parliament in the times of Professor Evans John Atamos. He threw out for a National Development Consultative Meeting. And he was calling for people from the other side. And if you look at the structure of this National Development Planning Commission, I clearly think that there is a problem. And we have not, even the President is not able to stick to the constitutional dictate of the National Development Planning Commission, which says that they must assess and evaluate government policies from time to time. Show me, which of our policies have we ever evaluated? Have we evaluated the free SHS policy? And where is the policy document? Have we evaluated the One Village, One Dam? And where is the policy document? Have we evaluated so many, the community day secondary school? And where is the policy document? So clearly, as politicians, we always run based on our manifesto. And your manifesto alone cannot be enough. Governments come to power and they realize they had to choose certain things from the other party's manifesto. But since it wasn't your brainchild, you may not be able to implement it to the latter. So if there's a true development vision, and in development vision, Pentecost is not talking of going to reconstitute the National Development Planning Commission. Pentecost is going to bring all the churches together. So you realize it's not only Church of Pentecost members who are going to attend the program. We are throwing a platform for all the other churches, even including the leadership of the Muslim fraternity. So Sheikh Arabia are all going to attend this program. There should be a moral vision brought from the national moral conscience or the social moral conscience bearers to give a national direction. Other than that, Randy, I've been in Parliament for 15 years, and I can clearly attest to the fact that leaving the mantle into the hands of only MPP NDC, we may not be able to find a solution to it because accountability is a problem. And even looking into the faces of one another within the same political fraternity and speaking the truth have always been a problem. Whoever says it is always seen as an outcast or as a mole. But when the churches come in, they are bringing the National House of Chiefs on board. When we say, oh, chiefs cannot do politics, so when a chief sees the truth, it's difficult for them to say it. But if you don't speak true to power, right, how are we going to find solution to these our numerous problems?
Right.
So it's a moral vision. What is missing is the ethical dimension. So when you see church, you think it's only religion. The church is the moral foundation of the society. And clearly, if you look at Ghana now, what is missing is the moral foundation. And abnormality is now becoming normal. All the don'ts based on the constitution have now found their way into the governance architecture. And people are not looking at it. The mere fact that the constitution says you can't do this does not mean when you do it, some spirit is going to eliminate you. But you do it, and it's like you are bringing the national superstructure down. And clearly, we've all found ourselves down. You can't run away from it. So the church has seen that there is a dichotomy between the two political parties. And because of that, we abandon this, what we call administrative continuity. It's lacking. You started this, I come, I leave it, and I'm doing my own. Meanwhile, it was the national resources that we used to start or initiate those programs. So if the church comes in and we all find a round table, like where we are now, oh, we are running a double track system. Why are we running a double track system? There is no educational infrastructure. Why don't we complete this? We all come on board. So no party can say that this is my program or that is my program. You started it and I'm completing it. So we all have a stake in it. In the era of Professor John Evans Atta Mills, President Kufuor started the George Bush Road. He brought the money, but he didn't start the contract. When Professor Mills came as a Christian and he completed it, he brought Kufuor for him to come and say, oh, I didn't start it, President Kufuor, come and take your credit. If not a true Christian, who can do this? When President Mahama was going to commission the Bui Dam, he said, oh, President Kufuor must also come. I was the MP for time at that time. President Kufuor brought $622 million to start the Bui Dam. President Mahama added $177 million to complete it. And when in commissioning, he brought President Kufuor to come and take his glory. But Bui Dam is completed. George Walker Bush Road is completed. What about the E-blocks? Why are we not completing them? What about the hospitals? Why are we not completing it? What about the community schools? Some are 40 years, some are 20 years. You see, Konfanoche maternity block started 40 years. We left it there, we built other hospitals. But that money has been wasted. Now, another government can say, oh, let me go and check the integrity, the constructional integrity. Then they go and check, they say, oh, we have to bring the whole thing down. Randy, it was the taxpayers' money that was used to build 40 years ago. What is uncompleted, we've not benefited from it. So the church has seen that these are some of the more reasons why Ghanaians are suffering. Now, respect for leadership is breaking down. Once Ghanaians lose respect for the political leadership, they will come to the church. We are not from space, we are all from the various churches. I'm from the Church of Pentecost. My brother is from the Victory Church. So, and we find ourselves in Parliament. It doesn't make us different. So we are Ghanaians from the Ghanaian society. So what you see in Parliament is a reflection of how our society is. And once gradually, in the end of politics, we are allowing abnormality. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do this. And let me confess, in 2009 when I entered Parliament, we had just taken over from President Kufuor. Then we marched to the castle. We were suffering. The MPs, all the 148 NDC MPs, we marched to Professor Knowles. We saw how our brothers, when they were in power, they were all spending government money. We have come, we are in power, and always you say that we should go and build this, we should go and build emergency classrooms because of 4-year SHS. And nothing. The grassroots, they are lambasting. Let's also chop. You look at our faces and say, my brothers and sisters, if I allow you also to chop the way they chop, then 4 years, 2012, what message are we going to tell Ghanaians? Or there's not going to be campaign again. He schooled us and gave us tea to drink. After that, we came. And if you look at the economic indicators of this country, Randy, confess, the highest GDP growth rate was during that reign. Because all the don'ts were not going to be crossed. There was a red line. But now, with Ghanaian politicians, both MPP and DC, the red line has been crossed. So if the church will sit down and say nothing is happening, the red line has been crossed. And somebody must intervene. And the constitutional, independent constitutional bodies are being tempered with. And the earlier we strengthen them, the better. So when the church is coming in, as we are going to 2024 campaign, you could see what NDC supporters will be telling NDC. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? So when NDC come, how can they be changed? You also come and repeat this. Oh, they did this, so I'm also going to do this. But will that save the interest of this country? So the church must come in, bring us on a common platform. Let us see what is wrong with the system. The Public Officers Conduct Bill that is in Parliament. If the church doesn't come in, how are we going to pass this one? When the church found itself at the gallery, that day, 275, did you get any one single opposition? No. The speaker threw a challenge that I want to see any single MP who is against this motion. And when you look at the gallery, the Pentecost church pastors were there, Roman pastors were there, Christ Apostolic Pastors, Baptist Church, all the pastors.
Very intimidating.
Yes. So when you look at it, and I knew they spoke to their MPs that, look, politics is made up of interest groups. You represent the interest group of the Victory Church. Me, I represent the interest group of the Church of Pentecost. He represents the interest group of the Presbyterian Church. And the Presby is there, Pentecost is there, Victory is there. So who will oppose? So it's an aggregation of all the views of the interest groups. And this is how best we can do. So if you say, yes, national development planning, the Constitution has provided for that. But the Constitution has also provided for assessment and evaluation of all those. But by the National Development Plan, they don't do it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Reverend Tim Fojo, let me just bring you in. So, we're basically looking at who the participants, are they the same people? Are you the same people as in you who...
The pastors?
No, the people who do the things we see in Parliament. Is it the same people? I mean, who are the participants? Who are coming? How many people are you expecting? Is the church picking up the bill? Is the state financing it? Is the NDPC supporting it?
I must at the outset say a very good morning to the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eric Nyamiche, the General Secretary of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Kumilabi, and all the team of the planning committee, my good friend and respected colleague, Honorable Elder Ahmed Ibrahim, and then Apostle Doctor, and all the team, most of them who cannot be here, with Honorable Bedra himself, and many people who have supported this vision of the chairman of the Church of Pentecost. Yes, this is a vision spearheaded by the chairman of the Church of Pentecost and the Church of Pentecost, but it is targeted at the entirety of society. It even extends beyond Christians. So it's a non-denominational conference that is seeking to impart values, impart ethics, impart discipline, impart integrity, impart the fear and patriotism, the sense of patriotism and the sense of responsibility, even realizing the role that an individual plays in society and the role that they play in nation building, and what we must all prepare ourselves to be able to be better citizens of this country and to contribute better in whatsoever capacity we fundamentally find ourselves in. But I would want to, once I commend the Church of Pentecost, I want to begin with just two scriptures quickly. 1 Timothy 2:1 verse 4. First of all, then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all people, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a peaceful and quiet life, godly and dignified in every way. This is good, and it is pleasing in the sight of God our Savior, who desires all people to be saved and to come to the knowledge of the truth. The last one, Romans 13:1. Let every person be subject to governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. So this conference is in line with a vision that the church plays a role beyond just being a religious body. We play a key role in nation building. We play a key role in national cohesion. We play a key role in the formation of the value system of a nation. So many countries today that you might even think that you might even think that may not be predominantly Christians today. Many years ago, you may call them secular, pagan, but many years ago, because of certain critical values, which were foundational values at the time that they were in their formative years of nation building, those principles and those values still guide them. So that even though religiously over the years they may have traversed and perverted or even chosen other paths, in their fiber, he might not be a Christian. He might present himself with certain appearance that you might not think is a Christian or a religious person or Muslim. But when you hand him public resources, he's not going to touch one. When he goes to the market and there's to a vending machine and there's been no accountant or salesperson to collect their money, they will pick their bottle and leave the exact cent and money they are supposed to pay. If there's any change, they will just pick the exact change without anybody looking on, without stealing, without touching. That is as a result of years of values imparted in such a society. So it is not about religion, but it's about society. We mostly conveniently, get into comparison of partisan records. This party did this, that party did that, this party didn't do this, and this party created this problem, this president created this president did that. None of that gets us anywhere, because we complain about people in authority, we complain about MPs, we complain about DCs, we complain about chief directors, and many of these people in sensitive positions across various regimes. But what we forget to realize is that all these people that we're holding accountable to certain high standards are members of society. And they are the same people that go to mosque every Friday, same people that go to church every Sunday. They are the same people that come in and out of our religious places. So beyond the Sunday sermons we give and beyond the preachings that we do, what more can we do to ensure that collectively we build a society that is cohesive, and beyond the cohesion, that individuals realize that I must build in a certain value to be truthful to myself, to be truthful to whatever responsibility I get. If I'm an assembly member, if I'm a unit committee member, I may not even in an appointed position, in an elected position, any position, not only, we have only 275 members of parliament, and we have over 30 million population. And so it's not only members aspiring or persons aspiring to be members of parliament that need to inculcate in them these kind of values. We may have only one president at a time, only one vice at a time. But we have many other positions and roles, which may not even be by appointment, but even in private capacities, which all contribute to our national development efforts. So we are expecting about 2,000 participants across various religious sects.
2,000?
Yes. Yeah. And the good thing is that the Church of Pentecost and organizers have taken every cost that goes into it. So every participant that is coming is not coming with any money. They are going to be accommodated for free, and any expenses that go with it for free, and no one is going to have to be charged. Pentecost Convention Center. The Church of Pentecost has a massive...
The one in the central region.
Yes, Gomwa Fete, just at the back of Kaswa, when you branch in. It's a massive center that hosts many national events.
I know that.
When COVID came, they gave out the place for people to recover and to be healed. And so that's what we are going to. So state-of-the-art accommodation we provided. So many people are expected tonight, and early morning we'll begin with the first session. The presidents, the former presidents, and many states, notable states, the Speaker of Parliament and state persons will be there, media, so traditional rulers, Chief Justice. So these are, carefully selected without discrimination, members that contribute something that we think, if we all share ideas and if we all think about the way forward, enough of what we have gone under the bridge, enough of what somebody did, what they didn't do, but going forward, how can we together raise that society? So, but just to quickly touch on completed projects and all that, it is one problem that is seemingly characterizing our partisan nature. But moving forward, we are hoping some of these conferences will cure. Because at the outset, a politician wants to have records that surpasses another. Oh, I did so and so number of projects, and this person did so and so number of projects. But it's not so much about what you did and what the other person did. Once it's a national policy and it's adopted, and the resources that you are coming with, it's not an NDC budget. It's not an NDC money or MPP money that they are giving to you if you have formed government. It is the national resources. And so it is, you must target it at completion of projects started with national resources, regardless of which regime started it. And then you commission it. Whether or not you even credit the person or not, at least let's finish it first. Then we even get into. So talking about that, and I wouldn't want to go into comparison of which president, every president in the Fourth Republic, and even people, the leaders beyond that, we must not be blinded by politics to forget their contribution. Everyone paid their dues, and we celebrate all of them. That's why we have all of them on board. But testament to, as education, what I know, the number of projects that this president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has completed from various regimes, from 2000, from President Kufuor, President Mills, President Mahama, all the regimes that started, they are 1,001 as of the end of 2021. I'm yet to get updated figure, but as of December 2021, 1,001 projects were previous projects we inherited, which have been completed, including a good number of e-blocks. But another time we'll discuss why certain projects have not been completed. But the whole thing is that every tendency, even to divide us further on partisan lines, need to be resisted, so that we go in together and not create the impression that, oh, somebody has come to create a certain problem, and so we are going to solve it by this way. But all of us together, from the time we started building Ghana, was 60 years. If what we see today is not a product of a 2-year, 3-year, or 10-year phenomenon, but going forward, how do we go well, united and better, and serve better?
Apostle Doctor, I'm sure that as an academic, I'm sure that you obviously believe in research. You read a lot of literature and all that. I have observed in recent times that there's always been serious reverence for the church and its leadership. But in terms of confidence in the leadership of the church, I see it waning. People, I get the impression that people see the clergy as having the ability to speak truth to power, not always, but sometimes. And that is a bit worrying. That they think that there are times that the church is assertive, the clergy is assertive. There are other times that it decides that it wants to focus on the gospel and not many other things. And I'm sure that for some people who even hear that the church is getting into this thing, they might express some of those issues. Now, so what are we to expect during this conference? And most importantly, when the curtains are drawn down on this conference? I mean, what will make this one different? How does the church expect to even use this as a platform to demonstrate that indeed it is prepared to speak truth to power, it is prepared to act in the interest of the state and not a regime or a party or a government?
Thank you, Randy. Let me premise my answer to this question with a Bible verse, and we look at something. When we read from Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14, it says that for lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advices. The society, in a way, has sort of pushed the church into a certain arena where the church perhaps has no voice to speak into issues. And if the church will come out to say something, the whole society will say that, no, this is not church matter. And it has sort of bred a kind of cowardness. But when you go through the Bible, the nations are governed by the priests and the kings. So if the priests and the kings were able to rule and rule well, then how can't it be in our regime or our nation? But when the church would appear to be partisan, that is where he will lack the moral capacity to speak to the ruling authority or the ruling government. And this is where we want to stand and make our intentions clear. We belong to the nation, and we are part of its development. Therefore, we're not going to focus only on the gospel. It is true that the gospel will change people. But if we preach the gospel only to the changed people in the churches, sorry, how are we going to get the needed impact? Therefore, the church must be out the four corners of the chapel and step into the general society. Like my brother Fodio was saying, we are losing the moral values as a nation. And the best way we can get moral values is from the church. And if we are speaking on it only in the chapel, then we are doing disservice to the whole society. Therefore, we need to step out. And these activities are part of the stepping out activities to bring the actual mindset of God to the people, and that we are able to see the development and the elevation God wants his people to be. For he did not create the world as we see it. By our activities, we've made it as it is. And if we rely on him, we can surely change things, and it will be a better place to live.
So what do we expect?
Very good.
I mean, during the conference itself,
Good.
and most importantly after. Because like I said in my intro, we've seen a lot of these conferences happen, and then after that, what else? It's just grammar on paper.
Yeah. We are praying and hoping that this is not going to be one of the numerous conferences that are being held in the country, that we come out with documents and then it will be left on the shelf to gather dust. In this conference, That is why we said that it is a conference. So there's a kind of consultative discussions. And out of that, papers will be developed. And when these papers are developed, we have key stakeholders who will be part of the implementation committee. We've set those committees in place. And when we are able to come out with these documents, as it has been a concern of all the stakeholders who came to their various offices, they know that we've come out with this. And if it had been left with the politicians or the technocrats alone, they may not be able to implement it. So the church is going to be as the monitoring group, taking the people concerned, those who came out with the various ideas and policies, and the groups that we've set, we be on them, we make sure that it is happening. So when it is not happening, that is where we are going to speak truth to the authority. That we all came together, we agree that we shall do this. And why is it not being done this way? This time around, it is not going to be, and our chairman, Church of Pentecost, will also be speaking. Then former presidents, J. Kufuor and John Dramani Mahama will also be there. And then the president of the National House of Chiefs will also be there. And there is a host, a lineup. Our Speaker for Parliament will be there. The Chief Justice will also be there. Professor Adadivo will be there. And we also have an international speaker and who is from Zambia, who will be there. And our General Secretary, Apostle Nana Yakumilabi, is there. And then Reverend Opuni Frimpong will be there. And then Dr. Opoku Afari, Mrs. Gifty Afenidazi, and Sheikh Arimiao Shaibu, and Reverend Asamoah Jedu, and a host others, because there will be track sessions. Okay. Then there will be people who will be leading the track sessions. All these people will bring their ideas together, and then we come out with, if we may say, national document.
And it starts tomorrow?
Yeah, we are reporting this evening, 4 p.m.
Okay.
And then the opening session will be tomorrow at 8:30. And then it continues through to Thursday afternoon. And then we bring proceedings to an end.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me come to the Christians who are also politicians. As we wrap up on this one, I want to know about the level of commitment of your respective sides to these issues, because that is what is critical. I mean, what has been the level of engagement, and what is your level of commitment to this? And I'm not speaking about you in your individual capacities, but the entities that you represent.
Yeah, Randy, the level of commitment is so high. The morale is very, very, very high. I think about 302 members of the National Democratic Congress are going to be there. We were given 400 people to be brought. And you know, that one you have to pay your own transportation and all this. So we threw it to them. About 302 people have expressed interest that they will be there and have registered
a confirmed participation.
A confirmed participation 302.
Okay.
And as for the members of parliament, all the 137 have been given special invitation letters to be there. And secondly, the budget and the date 25th, 26th, 27th was chosen by the Speaker of Parliament.
Okay.
The church gave it, they wanted all the 275 members of Parliament to participate. So they wanted the Speaker to be there in person, and they wanted members of Parliament to also be present. So it was because of that. That is why that date was chosen. So you can't go and give a date. The dates have been publicized. Your members, individual members, have been given letters. Then you say the commitment is not there. The commitment is so high. And the functional executive committee members of the National Democratic Congress, Dr. Haji, and they are all going to be there. So almost most of the national executive, regional executives, constituency executives, MPs, and former DCs are part of the 302 members that are going to be there. I was there when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was also consulted. And the planning team went to, including the chairman of the Church of Pentecost, went to his office they explained the rationale behind the policy to him. He also welcomed and said, yes, as a Christian, he would be happy to be there. And they promised that they were going to get back to him, given the date on which he should be there, and what he must, the time that he was going to be allowed to, the kind of comment that is good. So President Mahama, I can tell you, is also going to be there, within the General Secretary and co. So the participation is very high, to be precise. And this is not, if I don't talk about the question you asked, Doctor, your question was a general question. When we met almost all the members of the Economical Council, why is that at a certain time your voice is heard, at a certain time your voice is not heard? They said they've revised, they have channels of communication. Like the way they came to President John Mahama's office.
I respect that, but I don't buy it. But that's fine. That's for another day. It's just for another day.
Thank you very much. So going forward, the channels of communication, we were asked to reactivate them so that we can be talking if there's any issue, the platform. And I think this is also one of them. It started in 2009, not that this is the very first time that they're going to start it. When we came to Parliament, this conference used to be restricted to only Church of Pentecost members.
Oh.
Yes. We used to call political chamber committee. Oh. They have it for the chiefs. We call it the Royal Conference.
Okay.
So they don't want to make nobody should be excluded. They have it for the businessmen. They have it for the chiefs.
You are the fastest growing church in the country.
They have it for the church. This is the businessmen. We call it the Business Executive Conference. Then they have it for chiefs who are members of the Church of Pentecost. So that when they are going to install you as a chief, it's your family property. You go, I'm a member of Church of Pentecost, so I don't want to be a chief. You've been given the power to go, but they have ethics based upon which you are going to be the chief. You should not be a chief as a Church of Pentecost member who will sell one plot of land to Randy and at the same time sell it to Reverend Intimfojo. When the church get to know.
I think when anyone wants to buy land, you have to ask for the tithe card or membership card of the chief. If it's Pentecost, then you can buy.
So that's one must be if they don't want you to cause a collateral damage
to the
church. Okay. And that is why we, the politicians, it was confined to we, the Church of Pentecost MPs. So we had it in 2009. We had it in 2016. And now they say, no, why not we open to the other churches? And that is why this time. So if you know that, oh, this is the first time we are going to open, why is it that you didn't do it the other time? It's not the first of its kind. But opening it to the other churches, this is the first of its kind.
All right.
Dr. Randy, yes, the commitment on the side of MPP is very high. We were both given 400 slots, both NDC and MPP, from the top hierarchy, from the president, the vice, all the way to the national executives, Chairman Stephen Intim, Secretary Justin Frimpong Kudia, and all the teams and various regional executives, constituency are very much on board. The subscription is very high. As I speak to you as of this morning, we had crossed the 300 line, a number of members of parliament, overwhelmingly. I mean, starting with the majority leader himself, he was the first to confirm his attendance, then the rest followed. So we are expecting a very good turnout, and we are going to meet that 400 target. We are not allowed to exceed it, but we'll be within that. So that is a commitment. But I must again salute that vision of the Church of Pentecost and the role that they are playing. Now we are saying that the church is rising up and not just doing religious acts, but taking steps that will impact the lives of people. And as you asked Apostle Doctor of the impact and the objectives of this, and as whether or not this conference will be able to cure all the plethora of issues we've raised, I do not think just one conference will be, but it's going to be an important start of the process of paradigm shift. And this conference, I look forward to it getting sustained, and it's going to be a hub of raising the new generation of leaders who will have God first, nation second, and then their political party somewhere at the bottom, and to know that we are here to serve and leave legacies for humanity to follow. So I thank the leadership of the Church of Pentecost, the chairman, the general secretary, the executive council, the planning committee, and the fact that they made it free and they opened it up to everyone. Recently, a few months ago, the Royal Conference was held. Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Bawumia, was there with them, and we see former President John Mahama, former President John Ajay Kufuor, current President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Chief of Staff, all the people who matter, ably, very enthused. In fact, as a matter of fact, when I joined the Chairman of Church of Pentecost to visit the President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Chief of Staff, the level of enthusiasm that the President expressed was remarkable, and even suggesting certain additional areas or issues, and it became very engaging. And we left the office very excited that we have a President whose vision resonates with this conference, and the objectives of this conference very much resonates with his values, and having indicated that commitment. So we thank everyone, and we thank you, the media, for giving us the opportunity even to advertise this.
All right. Okay. So, Apostle Doctor, are you going to get them to sign up to something? The participants, especially the notorious two. Are you going to get them to sign up to something?
They will definitely have to show commitment.
Yes.
And it can be in a form of signing up or pledge.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
We wouldn't want them just to come and say that we were part of it.
You give them the Bible to...
Definitely, they may have it, but we may have a way...
If you want them to do it on the Bible, get a Bible which is just the Old Testament, without New Testament.
Why that?
People are scared more of the old than the new.
But Randy, you don't have to say them, because we're expecting you. They don't, as a matter of fact, media, the fourth estate.
That with the old dispensation, you are struck dead.
Very dangerous dispensation. But Randy, you're invited.
Yes,
we're very much excited to see you.
Thank you, Apostle Dr. Philip Osei-Kosa, who's the Director of Counseling Ministry at Church of Pentecost, and the Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, who I have found out today is an elder.
Staunch.
Yes, and Elder Ahmed Ibrahim. Okay, I was going to speak about that election. Anyway,
and then you play the video today. It will be corrupt. It will be corrupted. It will play. I tell you, that video will play.
It's for sure. So thanks for joining me. On a lighter note, both of you are members of the Church of Pentecost. Then interestingly, I found out that both of you are as bald as me. But I know the Church of Pentecost has a very serious haircut. There's an identical haircut. When you see the haircut, you know it's a Pentecost haircut.
The
apostolic one.
But both of you
the Nazarenes. Me, I'm a politician. And a politician, if you have this one, in the old days, before you be a decent chief executive, you need to have a bald head.
Randy, let me tell you why.
Yes.
You see, the haircuts, they are of two types.
Okay.
There is one done by God Himself.
Okay.
And by others.
Okay. So this one is from God, natural.
Yes.
Okay. Because anytime I see that haircut, nobody tells me that this person is a member of Church of Pentecost.
It's a brand. But have you ever listened to the Catholic Bishop Conference?
Yes.
Communicate they've been bringing.
I've been following that for about 30 years.
How do you find it?
Oh, it's always been powerful.
Yes, that's where we are all getting to ascension. There must be thinkers.
But you people don't take it serious.
No, when you are in power and they bring it out, we all listen.
But you don't take it serious. You don't do anything about it. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah. The problem with these people is not about vision.
No.
It's conduct.
And monitoring. So they will be monitoring us.
Anyway, so thanks. And we wish you well. We'll be there to give our support to this particular one. We hope that if everything else has failed, this would actually succeed and help us. And of course, the church will be also willing to canvass support to punish those who do not do what is right. All right. Okay. And I expect that the church will speak truth to power and not be seen as only being assertive at some times, and not some other times. Some other times is a channel It's been assertive. Anyway, so thanks for joining me.
You know, God used to be face to face, but now He does it through the Holy Spirit.
But it is at all times.
With Moses, it was face to face.
Yeah, that was the old dispensation.
But with us,
in the new dispensation,
through the Holy Spirit.
In the new dispensation, God doesn't change every 4 years or 8 years. It's the same.
That is okay.
Up next, Metro Sport.